It is Monday, April 20th, 2026. Happy 420. And it's time to get in the weeds. I'm at Joel Pearl, thejoelpearl.com. On Blue Sky, we have a show. It is a magnificent Monday, a sunny Monday here in Toronto. It's cold, baby. It got back into the negatives again, and I don't like it, but I guess that's kind of the part of spring that exists here in Canada. It'll be okay. I promise. It will. If you're in Toronto or if you're in Canada and it's cold, there will be sunny days again. Jeremy Lambert is here. He sounds winded. Are you okay? Have you survived? This is proof of life. You are, in fact, still here, but are you okay?
I'm fine, Joel. I'm fine.
I don't think the people need to know what you were doing, but I think they can insinuate what you were doing.
It's been a long week. It's been a long week.
Shout out to Jeremy. Shout out to the news and social teams. Just one more big event left, and that's tonight's Monday Night Raw. Could be a big one. It could be a medium one. Who knows? But we had a busy weekend. That's for sure. You guys did, and we've finally gotten to the denouement. We've gotten to that point where we can finally start to breathe again. Am I right?
I'm trying to breathe. It's tempting. I'm good. I'm tired. I'm tired, Joel. I'm so tired.
What's nice? The last couple of nights. I mean, the cluster fudge. You didn't stay up to cover it though, right?
No, I stayed up till like 2 on Saturday, and it wasn't over by that point. But I was up at 6, so it's not like I really slept. Last night, I went to bed at about 1 and was once again up at 6. Like Sunday, I had no reason to be up at 6. It was just my body betraying me of like, hey, you've been waking up at 6 like every day this week, so you need to get up at 6. And then today it was, back to the personal life grind. So I was back up early and running the 12 kids around. So I've not slept much. Maybe after this show, I'll sleep.
Take a nap.
I have other things to do.
The only thing you would miss on your job side is who's wrestling tonight, and then they change the match an hour before the show anyway, or who's appearing tonight, and then you already knew they were coming. Let the others take care of it. You can breathe for a day, right? I know you got other stuff to do. I know you've always got other stuff to do, but take some time for you.
I have to catch up on personal stuff because I didn't do anything last week. I mean, if you check the site, you saw just how busy and how everything that I was doing. So yeah, bless my wife for taking care of everything this last week, because I contributed nothing to the household. Monetarily, I guess I contributed, but contributed nothing as far as helping out with things. So she had to do everything on that end. And yeah, tomorrow I can hopefully feel like a person again.
And you know what? You get to come in today not feeling sad. A couple of good sports moments for you this weekend too. So we can at least stick to that.
Yeah, I couldn't even enjoy the games
there
yesterday. I mean, the Thunder game, that was a blowout, so that was pretty easy to enjoy. It was just like, hell yeah, we just beat this team by 35. But the Avs game, they were on the same time. That was super annoying. And I was still working on stuff, so now I can kind of lock in on the playoffs a little bit. I watched a little bit of Tampa Bay and Montreal last night. That was a really fun game, but
yes,
yeah, it was that was on during the middle of WrestleMania, so I couldn't fully focus up on that. But it went to overtime. It was pretty quick overtime because power play goal. Only overtime game of the weekend, which is disappointing. And then after WrestleMania ended, it was the third period of Boston and Buffalo, and that was a really good third period with the Buffalo comeback. So I did get to catch part of that, and then I stayed up. That's why I didn't go to sleep till so late last night. I stayed up watching Utah and Vegas last night. So yeah, I was watching hockey as much as I could this weekend, and the only real basketball I watched outside of OKC was Denver and Minnesota, because all the other games were effectively blowouts, so they weren't all that fun.
Woof. Yeah, the Sens are down 1, but game 2 tonight, and the Cavs take the Raptors in the first game. So we'll see what happens on my end of stuff.
Yeah,
I missed the Ducks game. Did the Ducks play?
No, they haven't played. They played tonight. Yeah, they played.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say they start tonight. All right. Yeah. Well, keep track of that. Game 2 for the Sens and game 1 for the Ducks. I'll keep an eye on those, and we'll see how my playoff experience goes.
I didn't get to watch much of this game because it started right as WrestleMania. I did tune in for the fourth quarter and kind of keep an eye. But yeah, Orlando with the upset against Detroit. We'll see if they can make it a series. I mean, obviously going up 1-0 is pretty big, but we'll see if they can make it a series. That was a good game.
Shout out to Kim. She's saying she's going to the doctor tomorrow to get her brain tumor checked out. Hopefully it is good news. So we're thinking of you and your family. Hope you're doing well.
She said throw the 1 up for her, so I'm throwing the 1 up for her. There you go. Hope things are good, Kim.
You got to do it for the next 2 hours just to show.
I mean, like I could. I feel like I could. I'm so tired this morning.
Yeah, you're done, Ski. It's okay.
I'm so tired.
It's okay.
I'm out of breath because I was doing a workout this morning, everybody, because like I don't have time during the afternoons to do them anymore. At least today, I wanted to try to rest. So I was like, oh, let me get like my plank and stuff in early. So that's why I was late, because I was I'm up to over 8 minutes on my plank. It sucks. Yeah, it sucks.
Adam Copeland's very proud of you.
Yeah, I guess maybe let him know that I can plank for 8 minutes. Yeah, that's all I got.
That's fine. What I got is an idea. Go ahead, leave a thumbs up on the video. We can finally celebrate it. WrestleMania week has come and almost gone, but the fireworks are forever. We light the cars on fire again, no longer the sign. And while you're at it, you can go ahead and you can subscribe to the channel. I'm also out of breath in that I can't think anymore. Subscribe to the channel. We are climbing up every single day a little bit more. We celebrated our 3-year anniversary on Friday. I completely missed it. The only way that I remembered that it was our anniversary, Jeremy, was because I was in the Facebook memories tab, aka the I can't believe I said that shit at one point in my life tab on Facebook, and I saw our interview with Deanna Purrazzo, and I said, oh my goodness, 3 years ago. So we did it, baby. We're still going strong. Year 4, still better than Busted Open. Tell your friends, we're here. We've added SB3, so we're also growing. Our family has continued to grow here on ITW. The hosts are hosting, and the shows are showsing. So soon enough, there will be hot tubs in our future.
Maybe.
No.
Maybe. Thank you, Zeno Hour. Sometimes she's under me when I'm planking. So, she was this morning.
There
Maybe
it is.
She will later.
Donate a super chat also. Last thing, we'll get your question or your statement read on the air. C. Delgado saying match of the weekend was Sandman versus Invisible Man. There were some fun, excellent matches this weekend on the Indies. And this was absolutely of the peak. This one, obviously, Janela and Brody Jr. A lot of spring break was so much fun. But Sandman, Invisible Man, baby. Everything and anything. Sandman does the right thing, goes out on his back. Invisible Man made it after suffering a big loss at Mystery Wrestling a month ago, getting beat down last weekend by Stu Grayson at the Mystery Vancouver show. He made it, and he won. Invisible Man up. Sandman says goodbye. Fun time. Lots of appearances.
If this is not in your match of the year list, do wrestling better. If Invisible Man is in your worker of the year list, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you just don't get it. The man's selling, the man's facials, the way he garners a reaction from the crowd, the way he takes in the moment, but builds on the moment as well. It's like stuff I've never seen before, honestly. Like the way they built that finish, and you got the moment between Sandman and Mick Foley. Watch Invisible Man and Invisible Stan as Foley and Sandman are doing this moment. You can see it on them when Foley and Sandman get together. You can see just the gears turning in their head and how they are about to strike on Foley and Sandman. And that's exactly what happened. They did strike on Foley and Sandman. But it's the little things like that that just make Invisible Man one of the greatest workers of all time. And certainly this match was the absolute top tier of his list. I mean, his match against Invisible Stan was obviously like really great. But this one against Sandman, it might have topped it, honestly. Like, I know I put out my list. I got to go back and rewatch Okada and Tanahashi. And then I got to rewatch this like back to back to really make a firm judgment on these two. But man, what a friggin' match.
I don't have anything to add because the match was just so much fun. It was everything it needed to be. It was the Invisible Man just doing everything that the Invisible Man does. And if you missed it, well, you missed the Invisible Man. That's it. Sandman though, Sandman coming out and doing the Kendra Lust intro was fun. Now people are asking us to get Kendra on the show. Listen, everyone,
maybe.
Who knows? We can use our connections, of which just include sending a DM once in a while. And
yeah.
For the best.
Can we ask Janela? Janela might be able to.
Actually, yes.
You know,
we need to get Janela on this thing because
we do. I'll message him.
Last week, and he was knee deep getting ready. And listen, you could tell why, because the match that he had with Brody Lee Jr. was fantastic. I mean,
yeah.
Janela did everything for Brody. Brody was crisp in the ring for the age that he is. I heard the story from Brian Alvarez later that apparently when Brody goes to the dungeon to train with Natty doesn't let him take bumps. She'll let him take part in the drills, let him do basics, but will not let him bump or do real mini matches. So everything he's been doing is very fresh. And Joey spent the time with him clearly to get the match right, do everything that needed to be. And this kid, if he continues to be as encompassed by wrestling and as passionate and energized by wrestling as he is, then he has the entire world ahead of him. And he's got a supportive family. His mom, Amanda, is so excited for him and so proud of him. And she's also in the business, has been for a long time, still works at AEW. And she had nothing but pleasant words to say about the experience. But yeah, Brody and Joey absolutely nailed it. I thought that was a really fun match for those guys.
I sent a message to Kendra Lust, so we shall.
God bless.
See.
I say nice things about a child. You're messaging Kendra Lust.
Yeah. I tweeted this that Brody should just be undefeated for 4 years till he turns 18, but only wrestle once a year, only at spring break. So he's undefeated for 4 years. He should basically have like a spring break Undertaker streak. You wouldn't believe how many like pro wrestlers like a lot of my silly ideas on Twitter. Like that one, I couldn't believe some of the wrestlers that were liking this tweet. I'm not going to out anybody, but it would legitimately shock people, the wrestlers who liked this tweet. And the one who liked the WrestleMania closes with McAfee, Orton, Roman, and Rock coming out, and then they bring out Ari and Nick Khan. A lot of wrestlers liked that one as well. Not as much as the Brody one, because I think they could, they don't know if I'm gonna out them of like, hey, yeah, this person liked my tweet. But yeah, there were some that liked the TKO tweet. Nobody in WWE. They probably didn't want to get themselves in trouble. But there's some other wrestlers that did like that one. I'm gonna get a pencil one of these days. NWA's got to give it to me What else
Well,
are they doing?
JCW's show is still going on as we speak, so you could probably get the pencil there if you tried.
I think they like what Russo's doing. I
That's
don't know.
unfortunate.
Yeah, I ran this one by the wife. I was like, can I get away with this? Can I say this? And she didn't say no. I was like, all right, mine must be okay.
So what's funny is I saw it this morning, and I saw. I never. Don't listen to me, Jeremy. Don't pay attention to me.
I don't. Don't worry.
It's fine. You won't. Look at the replies, and then look at the quote tweets, and it's just two very different stories. The quote tweets are people understanding and laughing, with like two people being stupid. One person was like, right message, wrong messenger, and I'm like, I can see that. Like, I think that's valid.
Yeah, that's why I was worried about it.
Yeah, like I can understand the criticism. That's fine. But like other people were just like, you effing this and that. He picked him, and what? You're a racist.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like the replies were just people getting mad at the walls, and I'm just like,
not
gonna see this shit.
As people know, I don't read the replies to this stuff. My wife checks them because she thinks they're funny, but I don't check the replies to this stuff. No, I don't care. She told me that one person was like, "Oh, Brock might be like a weirdo sex pest, but he's not a racist." And like, I don't actually think Brock is a racist. I really don't. I mean, who knows? But he's never like really said or done anything that makes me believe that. It's literally just a funny comment because of how quickly he beat Kofi and then he beat Big E. Like that's the joke. That's it. It's not deeper than that. Like, I got a lot of people in my mentions and stuff over this week. I got a lot of new followers and I had to apologize to them this morning. I was like, look, you're going to all my tweets are going to be like, why can't Nathan McKinnon score on the power play? Why is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander 4 for 16 from the field? Like, these are going to be my tweets over the next 3 months here. But, they followed me because my great wrestling tweets. So I'd apologize for that. But it's just very funny of like how much some of these tweets got over. And I'm like, y'all probably don't understand me, and that's cool. I guess I can say this because this is like kind of public. Paul Walterhauser started following me, and that's a little concerning. I feel like we can probably get him on the show through at least MLW.
Wasn't he supposed to be on the show at one point and things just kind of fell through?
No. I asked, and it wasn't like any type of confirmation. It was just like, we'll see what we can do.
Gotcha.
Type of deal. Yeah. That wasn't like anything confirmed, though. I just kind of shot a shot there and hoped for the best.
Well, now we have that direct line. So
now we got a direct line. So yeah, sure.
Perfect, man. What a funny couple of nights this was. Again, Paul is very ITW coded. Would be very PB perfect.
Yeah,
it'd be very. Oh man, should we get into the WrestleMania, or do you want to keep talking about spring break?
Yeah, we can run through some of the indie stuff real quick since I watched.
You were right.
The majority of it.
You were right.
What? I was right about a lot of things.
Fair. You were right about the Megan Bain's partner being Nick Gage. That was a nice little feather in your cap.
Was that a good guess, or did I know something? Who knows?
You listened to a podcast featuring the COO interviewing his wife, and in it you deduced that Stephanie McMahon would be inducted by her daughters. You were right, and on top of that, her mother was there as well. Judge Judy, Linda McMahon was doing some of the induction. And there, I didn't watch Hall of Fame. Full disclosure.
Yeah, neither did I. I could not possibly care about the Hall of Fame. No.
The stuff that got out, people talking about it, I could not care less. People paid tickets to say those words and chant those chants. That's how they feel. I do not agree with them, so that's as far as I go with that. AJ Styles' hair looked beautiful on night one of WrestleMania, though. Oh, and we got the Good Brothers. I should have clipped the stupid thing. I just didn't have time, and also the induction was at like 2 a.m, so I wasn't going to be up for that. But yes, the Good Brothers do induct AJ Styles, so good for them.
You should still clip it.
I'll probably clip it. Who am I kidding?
Okay, all right. Yeah, I didn't watch Hall of Fame. I was still up for it because spring break was going on at the same time. And spring break, another scoop, went way past 2 o'clock, which was very obvious that was going to happen. It didn't start until like 10:30. I don't know what the delay was. And then
there's always a delay.
Well, this is how I knew it was going to 2 o'clock. And then the top rope broke in the first match, which was something. It was a ladder match where they couldn't climb the ladder to get anything because of the building, which was, I was like, this was a ladder match, right? I'm not stupid for thinking that. I mean, they made the most out of it. Like it was a fun little match. Yeah, it was. And then Manders won. George Kittle was there. George Kittle was the star of the weekend. He was the star of night one of WrestleMania anyway. Like his bit where he just drank the beer and kept stealing the beer from people, that was the best thing about WrestleMania night one. I was like, that feels like WrestleMania stuff. Whereas, a lot of WrestleMania didn't feel like WrestleMania, especially night one. Janela and Brody was fantastic. And obviously Sandman and Invisible Man was the greatest match of all time. Effie and Allie, I like Effie. That was the wrong match for the wrong crowd, trying to do the wrong things.
I'm looking at Cage Match, and I'm just like, okay, people are leaving pretty good. Wow, 1.92.
Yeah.
That sucks. It sucks because like they're both friends, and they had a story coming into this, and Allie's been working really hard to kind of find her next steps, and it kind of sucks that they couldn't do the things they wanted to do properly.
Yeah, that was tough. The Hayabusa match was like a little weird because I'm not like super high on Atticus Kogar. Like he's fine for what he is, but it was a definite styles clash that I don't think fully worked with those two. I would have liked Hayabusa had another match, and I forget who it was against because everything just blends together. But that one was a better match. But I apologize that I forget who it was. I'm gonna look it up here.
Talking about the tag match?
What did he wrestle a tag match
at Fight Club?
Yeah. That match was better. Yeah,
him and Tanaka versus Bear and Mr. Danger.
Yeah, that match was better. Like it wasn't like anything to like write home about, and that's probably why I forgot it kind of happened. Forgot the logistics of it. But I like that match better than the Atticus Kogar match. Jack Perry and Marco was a lot of fun with KJ and Sam. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Like I like the Megan Bain Nick Gage match, but I'm just kind of a Nick Gage mark. So like I enjoyed that. Like Spring Break overall was good, and it featured legitimately two of the best matches of the weekend, and legitimately the greatest match of all time. So what else did I watch? Bloodsport was. I can see why it's ending, and I love Bloodsport. People know I've been, I talk a lot about Bloodsport and how I'm always looking forward to the show. Man, that Natty Shayna finish was just so deflating. Like
to do it weird.
Yeah, to do a count out, like it's weird because I don't know who's making these calls, right? Like WWE talent has lost on Bloodsport shows. This isn't out of the ordinary here. So I don't even think it's a WWE thing of like, hey, we got to protect Natalya. Maybe it is. Maybe it truly is. But Natalia's lost on NWA shows. Like she lost to Kenzie Page. So
but it was never shown, so you couldn't tell me that.
Sure. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But maybe they were like, hey, we got to protect Natalya while, they'll beat Charlie Dempsey. It's not like Natalya's on television. Like they gave her here, damn, you want to do this character on TV, go for it, type of deal. But, it's sorry, I got to answer this.
I will say last year's being there live was one thing, but also I think last year's card was just better. And yes, there was a lot of influence, and Natty debuting her gimmick at that Bloodsport was a big deal. But like even the stuff around it, like Cross being featured on the show and being so passionate about doing the match, then having a good one with Kratos, just the whole show itself from top to bottom last year, I thought was so much stronger. This one, like it was fine, but like you said, you can see that it's kind of run its course. And if they take some time off and change it up, I wouldn't hate it. And you know what? Maybe it's time for Barnett to hand the reins over to the next person, because he took it from Riddle when Riddle got signed to WWE, and then Barnett's had it for several years now, probably close to 10 years.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. So like if he wants to hand the reins over to someone, then that's open. Like even if it's someone like Shayna Baszler, which I know is wild because she still has a door to WWE, but like if he hands it over to a woman who would maybe be able to turn this thing into something different while still keeping the spirit of Bloodsport, it could work. But after hiatus, I think it needs some time.
The thing with like Bloodsport, and I've said this for the longest time, and I still believe it, I think they've actually got to put stock into like records and potentially do like some type of titles, because otherwise like you're just going out there and you're doing matches and fights, and like, yeah, I like it, but it gets a little long in the tooth when it doesn't feel like there's any real stakes involved, and like they're just doing cool stuff to do cool stuff. And once you get like the WWE people involved, this is not a full on, because like it was cool to see certain people in this environment, but you've got like real people, like real fighters, I should say, like a Mako and a Shayna Baszler. And then you've got like Natalya, who's like a really good wrestler, but like she's not a legit shooter type of deal, you know? And that's where the going back to that match, it's, I don't know why you would beat, I mean, I don't know why it would be an issue for Natalya to lose. Like, to me, she loses, big deal. Like, she loses to Shayna Baszler, a legitimate MMA fighter in a fake MMA wrestling. It's not the end of the world here. No one's gonna look at this and say like, man, can't take Natalya seriously on WWE TV after this. Again, you don't use her anyway, so who cares? And I can also see the flip side of like, why is Natalya beating Shayna Baszler in this setting? Like, no one actually believes that's going to happen. So yeah, it's a tough, like, it's a good concept, but it's tough to make work for a long time because only so many people can do that style well. You bring in certain people who don't have that kind of background, and so it doesn't look quite as good. And then you don't have anything that you're really fighting for. Like, you just have people doing matches for the sake of doing matches, and there's no upward trajectory with it. And so like that loses a little bit when, again, they're cool, but it's like, all right, well, what's the point of this? Like, it's not going anywhere. So I think that it can work as a concept. I just think it needs a little bit of refining and retooling. But we'll see if they, you know, if Barnett even wants to go with it, because he said he has his reasons. I don't know what it is, but you know, we'll respect whatever the reasonings are.
Remember when Ivar did Bloodsport?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Hell of a time.
Yeah.
There were some people who came through those doors that you did not expect, but ended up doing pretty okay.
Yeah.
What else? So yeah, Bloodsport was what it was. It was a little different this year, a little stranger this year, and it sounds like they're going to take a break, and we'll see where it goes.
What else did I watch this weekend? I mentioned this on Thursday or on Friday's show. I did watch the House of Glory show. I saw somebody mention Amazing Red and Bandito. Yeah, that was great. I did go back and rewatch the Blue Panther and Ultimo Guerrero match, because a lot of people mentioned that on Friday's show, and I said that like, yeah, I was doing Spotlight, and then I was watching Collision, and then I was watching the House of Glory show. Sorry, my lovely wife brought me coffee. So I didn't get a chance to like keep up with it live, but I did go back and watch that. Yeah, like, if that's your match of the weekend, I ain't mad at it, because for two dudes who, like, even if they weren't 50, 60 years old, that was still a great match. But the fact that they are that old and they were working like that, man, credit to those guys.
CM Punk will be proud of that. Old man beating up another old man.
Yeah, they should bring them in for WrestleMania. Cared about CM Punk.
Yeah, well, CM Punk proved last night that old man can't go, but those two old men, they went far.
Yeah.
Punk out here getting all upset about stupid shit.
Moxtel and Bloodsport was really cool. Like I enjoyed that stuff.
Fun.
Like this is fair. You don't go to Bloodsport for storylines, but it just feels like you need stakes in this stuff. Like if you're gonna present them as like real fights type of thing, like you want to know that there's some type of advancement. Like,
do a cash prize, quote unquote. Do something.
Yeah,
make it a work. Like it doesn't matter. You can just don't do a belt. Like don't do a title belt, because this isn't about being, the Bloodsport champion. It's like make it a prize fight. That's what these guys and girls are here for. It's to be the best at something. So make it about money for once.
And make it about money, and make it about I want the records to matter. Like if you're gonna present this as MMA, like the records kind of like have to matter, and they just don't. Like you got dudes who are like 0-8 just getting random fights, and it's like, why would this dude actually come back? Like people don't watch UFC for the storylines, right? Like you watch to watch two people punch each other in the face. I get that, but let's not pretend like titles don't matter. Like a guy like Conor McGregor who can talk you into the building doesn't matter, and stuff like that. Like the personalities and the result should matter. Yeah, and look, I know UFC, their booking sucks and they give title shots to people who like don't deserve it and everything. So I completely understand that aspect of it. But then those are like the personality people. And with Bloodsport, like I credit Natalia, because she like actually does put something into this and like does want to do like try to build it like a fight. But she's kind of like the only one. Like nobody else on Bloodsport like really builds stuff. Like Moxley did with the Barnett stuff. But like Barnett and Nagata was just like, hey, we're just doing Barnett and Nagata. And if you didn't know they had an IWGP heavyweight title match 20 years ago, then you wouldn't know. So I feel like that stuff should matter when it comes to this, and especially like if you want to like build it and you want to draw people into the building, whether like you might not watch it for that, but a lot of people want to get invested in something more than. There's a problem all across the indies though, right? Like we saw a lot of people, a lot of companies kind of take a bath this weekend, and it's because so many companies are just doing like, hey, this is a cool graphic. This match it looks cool on a graphic, and like fair, but why did Spring Break stand out above all these other shows? Well, because they actually built these matches, and it was something that, and it was something that, it was different because you weren't getting Jack Perry on another show, you weren't getting Marco Stunt on another show, you weren't getting Brody, you weren't getting Sandman. Like Joey just didn't put people who you would see 20 times on the weekend throughout the card. So that helps. But again, there were also stories going in. All those top matches had stories in them. And that's why Spring Break always stands out, because all the top matches have stories. It's not just, hey, we think this is a cool match, come see our show. Even though you can probably go to the show down the street and they will have a very similar match with the same talent.
Yeah, that was one of the things that drew me last year into a bunch of collective shows, was that they had a story going. And you mentioned Natty last year. That was a big deal with Bloodsport. And then Janela Spring Break, obviously the Sabu retirement. There was the Atticus Kogar match or the return at the time. Like there was enough going on at Spring Break that, again, like I mentioned every single year or every single probably week at this point, that Megan Bain and Bozilla was my WrestleMania main event because the match ruled. But it was built as like these two big hoss women beating the shit out of each other, and like you could get away with that stuff. It doesn't work with every promotion to just put out, this is a dream match. You can build with a dream match, but the rest of your card has to also pull up and do what they need to do to tell a story going into the match and get people excited. It shouldn't ever be looked at as, oh, look at me, I'm wrestling X amount of matches at WrestleMania week, be proud of me. That's great. You should have that personal accomplishment. You should be very proud of that. But that should not be the emphasis as to why you're coming to work. You should be working to getting people in the door based on the matches you're having, not based on the number of matches you're going to have. So if you have 9 matches, get ready to cut 9 promos throughout the weeks going up to WrestleMania week to get people to buy tickets, to get them through the door, and then a promoter will be happy with you. Otherwise, well, you're just kind of a bad promoter if you're not expecting your talent to do something to build to the matches that you've been signed to do. It is tough. It is, and I understand it because I've never ran a wrestling show in my life. I have been around enough promoters and talked to enough promoters to know that you can do things like put together banger matches and get people through the door. I see it a lot of the time. I talk about C4 quite often. C4 can build their cards based on matches you want to see, and no one has to really cut a banger promo to get you in the door, because guess what? C4 already has that built-in audience and that built-in expectation that the show's going to be top-notch. And 99% of the time it is. When it comes to a WrestleMania week in Vegas where everyone's competing for the same eyeballs and the same people, you got to do something extra to get people through the door. And a dream match isn't going to be the answer. It's got to be more. It's got to be a story. It's got to be just a focus on traditional pro wrestling that gets people invested. And it doesn't always work. Like you said, some people were open about taking a bath. I know that St. Louis Anarchy was very honest about that. They said the Vegas show, they're very proud of how it went and the people involved, but from a financial standpoint, it didn't do much for them. It actually was a loss, but they were proud of what, not the transactions, the meetings that they had and the people that they connected with and things like that, which is great. But you do have to build your show with the stories that get people into it.
And that's not always what Mania Week is about, though. Mania Week is like, can we run a show? Who can we get? Hopefully people come check out the show, and that's that. But again, that's why...
not smart. If you're trying to make money, at least, you'll be lucky to break even.
Yeah. And this year was obviously more difficult because there was less people coming around. So I feel like most years these indie companies do okay. I don't know that for certain, but I feel like they do okay. And this year... it was going to be tough sledding, and it was for seemingly a lot of promoters. So, we shall see with all of this stuff. I think that was all from like indie shows that I watched. We talked a little bit about WrestleCon Super Show on Friday and how that went. So here's my what was the word we decided to come up with so I didn't have to say the other word? Collective reasoning. I don't want to say the word of one half of the tag team champions. So we came up with another word, but I already forgot what that word. My brain broke this week.
My brain broke trying to think of what we're trying to talk about. One half of the tag team. Oh, the conglomeration.
Yeah, sure.
They're trios champions.
Yeah. My hypothesis. That was the word we came up with.
Oh, your theory. Your awesome theory.
No, I refuse to say it. So here's my hypothesis. I think Ricochet and Leon was going to end in some type of DQ to set up like a tag team match or something. Because, the demands were there. Fortunately, they showed up in time. They got there in time. But, when the WrestleCon promoter said, like, Leon wasn't going to lose, he didn't specifically say he was going to win, but he said Leon wasn't going to lose. I think it was going to be some type of, like, interference stuff, and it was going to be Ricochet and the demand against Leon, Oku, and maybe Speedball. That's my hypothesis. Because Kevin Knight said he didn't find out about the match until... later on. He said when the internet found out. Maybe Speedball was in the same boat, but Speedball, I feel like, always just does WrestleCon, so I feel like he was going to be there regardless. I think he was there all weekend, like, supporting Veda and stuff anyway. But maybe Speedball was also in the same boat of, like, he wasn't going to be able to do that. And he wasn't going to be part of that. But I think it was going to be Leon, Oku, and someone else. Speedball, again, just a guess on my part. But that's my hypothesis. Could be completely wrong. We'll see if anybody confirms anything ever.
I don't know what. Kevin Knight just got roped into it. On socials. Here we go, Betty.
Yeah.
That's all right. You know what? It was a good trios match. It was quick, and again, the demand having ran from the airport because their flights were late. They said they didn't even get their bags. They just kind of went right in it and had their gear in their carry-on and did the match. Man, good for them. That's a tough break to have to run your ass off just to do that match, and to have to give everyone else extra time on the card just because your flight was late. Like that's tough, but they did their best with what they had, and yeah, it was fun. And our own Reg doing a lot of work this weekend too. Shout out to Righteous Reg. He was all over the calls.
Yeah, shout out to Reg and Moe's Pal Spotlight. They were everywhere this weekend getting their commentary in. So good on them. And again, we mentioned Veda, but Veda was doing a ton of shows as well. So I feel like I just heard their voices all weekend. So yeah, it was, if you like all of that, then there was plenty to like about all of that.
And then there was WrestleMania.
Yeah, where are we starting on this? We're going long today, folks. I hope Joel knows that. I assumed you planned.
I assumed we did. It was actually I was more wondering how your day was going to be structured, because you said you were going to be doing stuff, doing home stuff.
Yeah, that was a lie, just so I didn't have to do any news writing today, because I did enough over the past
God
week.
bless you. If anyone from your team is listening right now, disregard the things he just said. He's busy. He's busy.
If anybody from my team is watching this, turn this show off and get some work done.
I don't even know who's doing the post show tonight for Raw, because Sean was on the post show for us, and his voice was half gone. So I don't know what the deal is, but someone's doing the post show for Raw tonight. Could be him. He's flying back, I think, as we speak, or soon. And either he does it, or I guess Kate and Alex might do it. But we'll see. Maybe Cresta and I will get the rub again. Do 3 nights in a row. Y'all ready for that? I don't know about that. We went pretty hard nights 1 and 2. First of all, before we get into WrestleMania, thank you for those who did watch or listen to the post shows. And Jeremy did show up on night 1 because it was the funniest of the 2 nights, and we had something to laugh about. Jeremy gave me a great Helix sleep segue, which I did appreciate. The second he talked about sleep, I was like, here we go, baby. We were on the train. And it was a fun post show. Again, I said it on Twitter on Friday, and Jeremy can attest to this, because off air I was kind of saying that I was annoyed about certain things, like about not being there, because I felt like I wanted to be there. And then literally the next morning, I was like, nah, fuck this. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be in Vegas. Everything that was coming out, obviously we'll talk about the Andreas Hale stuff, but there was enough going on from a coverage standpoint that I was like, no, I understand why I wouldn't want to be there right now. And I'm glad I didn't go. I'm glad I did the post show. I'm glad I was there to hang out with everyone in the chat and do that with Cresta, because she rules. It's so much fun, as always. And yeah, we'll be doing more shows if it's not just TNA. Cresta and I are always game to talk about wrestling on the air, because it's just fun and stupid, because wrestling is fun and stupid.
Agreed.
Speaking of WrestleMania, one match does not save an entire WrestleMania. To some, it did, and I think a lot of people rightfully put that
one match though.
Punk and Roman.
Yeah, a lot of people, sure, but like
that's it. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, but like there was more than one good match on night 2.
Yes, there was, but I think a lot of people thought that one match was good enough to save the entire WrestleMania build, and it was absolve WWE of the build and the show itself. And I don't think that WrestleMania as a whole was good enough to get away with it. People should be. If I was a paying fan, if I was someone who donated all my time or gave all my time to this show, 2 nights did not equal out to a good time, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's very funny because it is 2 nights, and if you look at it in totality across the 2 nights, it basically comes out to like an average show, right? Because night 1 wasn't good. It was hilarious, but it wasn't good. But night 2 was good. So if you give night 2 like a 8 out of 10, and you give night 1 a 2 out of 10, that's what, like a 5 out of 10, right? Or is my math terrible there?
Do your math again, because I gotta check it.
8 and 2 Averages out to what?
10. That's 10. It doesn't
Yeah,
average.
divided by 2. Yeah, so it's a 5.
Okay, you're saying, oh yeah, sure. If you're adding 8 and 2, then it becomes 5. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, 8 and 2 is 10. Divided by 2 is 5. Yes.
Yeah, so I was right. My math is mathing somehow. So yeah, it's an average.
You boy math the hell out of that.
I don't know what that means.
Never mind. People will get it.
Okay. All right, sure. But so yeah, I was right about that. About my math. But right, like it comes out to an average WrestleMania. But people are going to remember night 2 more than night 1 because it was the last thing that they saw. And it was better. I think most people like to remember the good stuff over the bad because then they feel justified, rightfully so, watching and paying for this stuff. But yeah, people will kind of just dismiss night 1 because night 2 was so good. But yeah, if you look at it in totality, it was basically like an average WrestleMania. And night 2 was great. I thought night 2 was really good. Night 1 was hilarious, but it wasn't a good show. But yeah, I thought it was I thought it was overall like a fine WrestleMania. That night 2 will be rightfully remembered as being really good, and night 1 will be at least remembered by me by being the greatest main event of all time.
Night 1 was a 1.5 match show, which is very frustrating. And
what match was good on night 1? I'm having trouble just remembering night 1.
and Rollins.
Oh yeah, that match existed on night 1.
That was the standout for night 1.
Yeah.
And then the half is Cody and Randy because it had moments, but overall completely lost in its own sauce. It was it's not even so bad it's good territory. It was a makes you think type of match, and I mean that in the Robert O'Neill makes you think type of tweets. This match was weird at best.
All right, let's talk about this match.
Sure, I love it.
This match is so funny to me because I tweeted this, but now I'm going to explain it. If you ignore the pre-match, if you ignore the build-up, if you ignore the match, if you ignore the post-match, then it was a great match.
Generational.
But, yeah, what I kind of mean by that is if you only pick out one portion of this whole match or this whole like story, it makes sense. But when you put it all together, none of it makes sense. It's like going to a play and, it's a 4-act play, right? And you're sitting there and you're like, man, Act 2 was so, like, just focusing on Act 2. It's like, man, Act 2 was so great. Like, everything about that was just amazing. Everything made sense. I understood the motivations. All the work was great. It was just fantastic. It's like, oh, what about Act 3? Well, Act 3 undid everything they did in Act 2, and now Act 2 actually kind of sucked because of everything that happened in Act 3. But it's fine. Like, just focus on Act 2. It was great. Like, that's basically how this was. If you just focus on the build-up to it, it was, look, you can say what you will about the McAfee stuff. But overall, like, it kind of, again, we'll kind of give some leeway on McAfee saying that, ticket sales suck and the business sucks and everything. But okay, Randy Orton gets a guy who helps get the voices in his head and becomes more diabolical and stuff. And okay, it's Pat McAfee. You can be disappointed with that, fair. But it actually got Orton heat because he was getting cheered when he beat the shit out of Cody. Like, all right, fine, that's okay. Pre-match stuff, taking out McAfee. Thought that was good. Use Jelly Roll in that spot. That was fine. Match itself, if the story was Randy Orton's sympathetic babyface and Cody Rhodes like slowly transitioning into a heel before completing the heel turn, thought it was good work. Post-match stuff, if the story was Randy is a diabolical heel who was mad that he lost the championship and is now going to take out Cody, perfectly good stuff. But then you combine all of that, and it was completely just terrible, terrible work. Because none of it made any sense. They worked 10 different stories from the moment Randy won Elimination Chamber to the moment Randy kicked Cody in the head, this was a choose your own adventure shit here. It's like, hey, jump to page 3 if you want to do this. Oh, jump to page 58 if you this is going to be your choice. Now jump back to page 22 for this. That's what they were doing here. They were just pulling shit out of the hat. All right, Randy turns heel at this point. What are we going to do? We'll do it here. Okay, cool. It made, like, none of it made a lick of sense. I truly think they could have salvaged this. Work the same match. Randy being a sympathetic babyface, Cody being a more aggressive heel. And then Cody lays out Randy at the end of the show to, like, stick home the double turn effectively. If you do that, now look, I don't think it's going to be remembered as this super great, like, match and angle and everything, but at least all the work you did in the match makes sense. The build-up, it completely becomes null and void if you do this, but people remember what actually happened in the match. The build-up, we'll forgive all of that. But instead, they went the complete opposite direction of Randy's a sympathetic babyface, Cody's a diabolical heel, and then at the end, well, Randy is the diabolical heel, and Cody's supposed to be the sympathetic babyface. It's like, what are we doing here? It was hilarious, but none of it made sense.
Cody doing all the microaggressions to get himself, to that place. And people are like, oh, he's proving that he can go there because he couldn't go there with John Cena, and that's what cost him the title. And it's like, yeah, but also that technically puts him into turning heel territory. He's not just getting a little bit of an edge. No, he's just trying to win the match, but he's also, like, he's doing bad things. He's kicking people in the dick. Like, he's doing it, but instead they gave Orton all of his heat back. What they thought they were giving Orton all of his heat back after Cody won. But the problem is, every single time Orton sets up to do the punt, what does the crowd do? They cheer rabidly because they want to see the move. They want to see the thing. They want to see the moment, but the moment's been taken away from them so many times that they were just excited to see it. And when he did it, guess what happened? The crowd erupted. And suddenly Cody's like, he won, but at what cost? And Randy just kicked him in the head afterwards. So now what's Cody going to do? He's going to come back on Friday, allegedly. I mean,
maybe.
He's pretty dinged up, and you saw the photo that went around. It was not a World, but somewhere they took a photo with
some
fans.
Meet and greet, yeah.
And he was it the bus? Oh God, I hope it wasn't the bus tour. That would suck. Cody Rhodes.
I mean,
on your
he
left,
had to
the Grand Canyon. My head is pounding today, folks.
Yeah, he had to make good on that bus tour. They spent way too much money, so
man, that would suck. Anyway, but Cody got really beat up. So if he's around on Friday, I would say don't put him on Friday. I would say, oh, it was the bus, even better. I would say don't put him on Friday. Randy took the title, so have Randy come out and just be like, "This is mine now." And I'm gonna first thing.
Did Randy take the title?
He had the title above his head after the end of the night. Did he not just take the title with him?
I don't think he did. I think Cody walked out with the title.
I don't think Cody really walked out all that much.
I mean, fair, but
he was holding the title as they went off the air, though. I'm pretty sure.
Sure. I think in the post match though, they showed like Cody walking up the ramp. And
okay,
yeah.
I missed that because I was doing the post show. But okay, well let's say Randy comes out and he says Cody doesn't. Okay, so he took. Wait, yeah, who took the title? Zeno Hour, because that's regardless. They should have Randy come out and be like, I'm the real champion. I took care of that piece of trash, blah, 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 blah. And Randy is like, since I won, Pat McAfee's back in, and everyone's like, what is this horseshit? Like, this should be they're just going to gaslight the fans because I feel like McAfee's not going anywhere. But then they also have to tell the story of what happened between McAfee and Randy, because Randy gave an RKO to Matt McAfee when McAfee came down to try and count the 3 as the replacement referee. So again, they have put themselves in such a weird conundrum that they can't book their way out of this thing.
Okay, so I'm double confirming all of this, that this was during the post show. Cody's walking up the ramp. Jessica Carr has the title in her hand behind Cody. So Cody has the title.
Okay, so Cody has the title. So Orton's not going to walk out with the title then. Just wishful thinking on my part. Regardless, if Cody,
Shut up, Xeno Hour. This is why SP3 doesn't like you.
you know what, I fully endorse that. You deserve that. I feel like Cody should not be on SmackDown on Friday. Randy should be doing a victory lap. Say I'm the champ, not him. And I showed him after Mania. Whatever. They should do the heel heat thing, gaslight stuff, and then Pat should come out and they'll start whatever. It should be a heel heavy SmackDown, in my opinion. But we'll see what they do with that. But the match itself just did not do it for me. It just wasn't good.
I'm just kidding, Xeno Hour. I love you.
No, tear his ass. Treat him like Sean Waltman doing a Bronco Buster in 2016.
I think like they should have just gone with the double turn. Like they really should have. They could have stuck this. If they did the same match and Cody just hits Orton with the title after the, maybe Cody punt kicks Orton. They could have stuck this landing. Cody's a heel. Brandy's the babyface. Does anybody have a problem with this? Like, if that's what they do, does it make it better if they do this? If they did that Sting instead of what they did, like, does it make it better for people? I feel like it does, right? Because then the match actually makes a little bit more sense. And then the post-match actually makes sense. Like, oh, Cody's a heel now. Okay. Now, obviously, they didn't want to go with Cody being a heel because otherwise they would have done it. But they should have just gone for it. He's getting booed anybody. Nobody wanted to boo Randy. He's in that spot. Like, you know, when he turned on Cody in the first place, he was getting cheered. And that's why they had to insert McAfee to, like, well, for a few reasons, but it actually worked in the fact that, like, it got Randy some heat. I mean, the heat was mainly on McAfee, but, like, it got Randy some heat in there. But they don't want to turn Cody, but maybe they should at this point. Like, the crowd's booing him. You don't have enough, like, effective heels to work with Cody either. The crowd's just kind of tired of his whole shtick, and turn him heel. Don't make this same mistake AEW did, or he made in AEW, of, like, you waited too long to kind of do it. Like, it's okay if he turns heel. Like, he's a great babyface. He's been a great babyface for years now. He was the right choice to lead WWE as the top babyface. Don't let Steven Jensen know that I said that. But not everybody stays babyface forever. It's okay. Like, he's not Sting. And even Sting had a dark period. He was still a babyface, but he was also off television for a year, effectively. Before
He went heel eventually.
I mean, sort of, but not really. Sting didn't really go heel.
I'm just trying to make something out of nothing here.
No, but again, like, Sting at least had a dark period where, and he was off TV for so long, and you had, like, a really hot heel group that everybody wanted Sting to fight. So it's okay if Cody turns heel, but they didn't do it. This whole thing was so confusing, but also hilarious at the same time because, dude, Pat McAfee was kind of baby-faced here. They did the stretcher spot with McAfee, and then, like, only a babyface comes back from a stretcher spot. They don't do that spot for heels. Like, the heel gets wheeled out and we never see him again. The babyface gets wheeled out and he returns later on in the night. Like, this whole thing was just backwards. The structure of this whole shit was terrible. Just all of it.
Sting turned in 99.
Sure.
That's how they did the Sting and Lex Luger team and all that stuff.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah,
but
it sucked. It happened.
Yeah, but the crowd, like, didn't want to, like, turn. Like, the crowd wants to turn Cody. He was getting booed during the Cena stuff. He was getting booed even a little bit during the McIntyre stuff, and now he's getting booed during the Orton stuff. Like, they want to turn Cody.
I think Cody doesn't want to do it because Cody wants to get out of the business as soon as he can, and he's trying to make because you make that money. You make that money by doing babyface stuff and getting the sponsorships. And he's got the weekly sponsorship, and he's got to do the podcast. I think he's just trying to make as much hay as he can so that he can FO and get out of the ring. That's it.
I don't think that's the case at all, but okay.
Yeah, I think he'd like to transition to a backstage role or politics.
Sure, but not anytime soon.
Who knows? Maybe he's ready to be done.
No, Cody's going at least another 5 years.
Wow, trying to make Cody stick around. Who are you, Steven Jensen?
I'm not, but I
Try to
think he's
retire
going.
Cody faster.
I think he's going at least another 5 years. Like I don't think he's going anywhere. Like Cody's only 40, and I realize 40 like sounds old in wrestling, but Punk is what 46.
48.
That's why like Roman's only 40. Punk's 47, by the way. Like Roman's only 40. Like I realize it sounds old and you do need to push younger talent and stuff. But the fact that CM Punk just main evented WrestleMania at 47, Randy Orton just main evented WrestleMania at 48 is Orton's, Jesus Christ, Punk's older than Orton? I would have never guessed that one. Orton's 46. Like, I think Cody's sticking around for at least another 5 years. I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon.
Damn, this Cody kid, he seems to be all over the place. Speaking of people who are all over the place, Cam Hawkins is here. How you doing, pal?
Hey
Cam.
guys, how are you?
How you doing, buddy?
Oh, you know.
Yeah. It is day. I don't know what day it is.
Fair.
Is it 4? Is it 5? Is it 6? I think it's actually day 5. So yeah, doing fantastic. Yeah.
Have you slept?
Yes, I actually slept a
Okay.
lot. I actually
Okay.
slept a lot. I am every bit of 40 now. And so
Fair.
yeah, there were like those nights where it used to be, hey, what's everybody doing? It is, I will see you guys tomorrow,
Yeah.
hopefully, maybe for work.
See, this is what I'm talking about. This is why Cody Rhodes wants to get out of here. He's every bit of 40 and he wants to move on and get some good rest. This is what I've been talking about.
Cody's got a bus to drive him around and is hang out with the family all the time. Cam ain't got the Cody bus.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe you
no,
do,
no.
but
He's got a different kind of bus.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a comment in the chat there. Comments on ESPN's Andreas Hill being denied press credentials for Mania. It sucks. Like, what you want me to say? I don't know how much deeper it gets than that. You know, Hale is one of my closest friends in this. He's one of my mentors, and you know, for us not to get to do something like that together, share that camaraderie and watch him work, it sucks. You know, yeah.
It doesn't, like, to me, it doesn't even make sense because you don't do like you don't do the press conferences. So it's not like Andreas is going to get an opportunity to ask a question or anything. And Triple H didn't even show up to the press conferences anyway. And Andreas, I don't think, I mean, maybe, but I don't think Andreas is going to go up there and ask Rhea Ripley of like, hey, your match, this isn't fair to Rhea or Andreas really, but for not even argument's sake, but I think what people may think Andreas is going to ask based on like his grades and stuff. Hey, I gave your match a D. Do you think it sucked that bad? Like Andreas isn't going up there like ask the wrestlers.
Never, like, yeah,
it's the stuff
happen.
like
Yeah.
it's so. Like, but you actually, it's the Streisand effect though, right?
Yeah.
Like you pulled it, and now people are making it a thing where if you just gave them a credential, like oh, okay, cool, like moving on.
Just would have been at the show.
And yeah,
Talked about it.
I also do not believe that. Even with their exchange, I do not believe R-Truth went to anybody and said, "Hey,
No.
this guy can't come in." That's not even.
No, this is
Yeah.
this is a TKO thing. I feel like because I mentioned this, and Cam, you might know better than I do, and a lot of people would know better than I do. But like they pull credentials from boxing all the time. If like you critique or have criticized like TKO or the Crawford and Canelo fight was a big thing where I saw a lot about that where anybody that gave like previous criticism to like the Saudis, they're like, nope, you've been denied credentials. And it's people who have been covering boxing for like 20, 30 years got their credential denied because they may have said something about the Saudis that they didn't like and they were help promoting the shows. So that's what it feels like here. It's so strange.
Like you said, I think the biggest thing about it is like, other than a specific POV or getting the feel for what people are saying in the building. Like you said, there's no real post-show press conference that we're a part of. So it literally just changed his view. And then lucky enough, Andreas lives in Vegas. So it's not like he flew himself out.
Yeah,
for
I would
that
have
to
been pissed
happen.
about that.
Yeah, that
Because
would.
then that would be, yeah. I thought, I don't know why I thought, but I thought that I might have gotten my credentials pulled because I didn't get any information in like my stuff. And they were like, it's like every other time you've ever been anywhere, Cam. You show up and show your ID and we let you in. I was like, oh yeah, my bad. Got a case of the tinglies. But yeah. I tell you what was interesting. That was the smallest turnout for a press box I can remember seeing. And they were a pretty big press box. Like usually both sides of it are filled with people. Like one side was filled, and then one side was filled, and then there were like 5 people on the other side for a very long time. And one of them was Alfred. And again, you'll never hear me say a bad word about the guy. If I'm nice to you in person, I should be nice to you every other time. But it was funny. It just was. It's like everybody's over here, and they got my guy over here in a big fur coat, no less. I digress. I only went to night 2. I spent night 1 with Sean. Not doing that again. But no, Sean had a cabana and Kel had a cabana. So we were kind of back and forth between the guys. We had a really good time. A lot of people came out. Went to the stadium for night 2. And of course, I'm sitting next to my man, Keith Raniere, who is in the Hogan doc. I'm allowed to say that. And it was funny. So I'm talking to him about it. I was like, hey, superstar. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, oh, I watched the Hogan doc and you were in there. He was like, I haven't seen it. I was like, you haven't seen it? But like, he was like, well, they sent it to me, but I had to travel and I knew I was going to do some writing. So I just figure I'll watch it when it comes out. And I was like, wow, you are not me. I'm an absolute ham. I would have that thing on repeat in my house. But yeah, I'm going to do a review on that. That I can't say more words about.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think you can say much about it. Just DM me everything about it, so I won't say anything.
For sure.
They
They were like, you can do previews of the review up until the 15th, and then you can do. I was like, okay, cool, yeah.
Like
yeah,
I'm,
it was.
I'm interested in it. Like, should I guess quell expectation? I feel like it's gonna be pretty slanted. But the fact that like, it is his last interview, and it seems like they got good people for it. Oh,
strongly recommend watching it, and that is coming from me.
Okay. Yeah, I'm interested. Like I like wrestling documentaries. I know like it's a wrestling documentary. How real is it? But I like that kind of stuff.
I recommend checking it out. Yeah,
okay.
Man. It has. I got off the plane on Thursday, went straight to the New Texas show because it was at a spot that wasn't too far from the airport. So we get there, we have all our bags, we see the guys and gals that we know, the promoter, this and that, and then man Kiefer Bartek, the New Texas promoter, was like, "Hey Cam, you want to do commentary?" And I'm like, I'm in like sweats. I'm not prepared to do any of these. I was like, sure, let's do it. And of course, Reg is there. And I was like, why doesn't Reg do it? Reg is like, Cam, it's New Texas. You're doing this. I said, oh, fantastic. But it was a great show. Really, really, again, getting to be around like the New Texas and inspire guys and gals in Baracho, like in Austin, is so great. But like to get to have that kind of fun out of town is really, really fun. So it was a great call in that show. And again, I'm old, so we did nothing else the rest of the day until we went to the Wrestle Lit party, which was really cool. Being kind of an offshoot of Wale Mania. A lot of people were there. People were in there working hard too. And then, you get to a point where Javon Evans has his own section. I was like, well, you're not old enough to have a section. How do you have a section? And then, everybody was there. Swerve was over there. Mello was over there. Marshawn Day and Kev were there. Darius Carter was there. These things always remind me that everybody's actually cool and everybody's actual friends. So when you get online and start arguing company, loyalty, all that kind of stuff, it's a bunch of crap.
They work together. What do you want?
Exactly. Yeah, Kaz pulled up for a little bit.
No, he wasn't there. He was not there. He was, I only saw Swerve and Javon. I did not see Kaz anywhere around this ordeal.
They let the state media around for sure. And then it was cool. Gunn and Dizzy showed up. Got on stage for a little bit. Haven't seen those guys in a while. It was a really fun night. And then we did St. Louis Anarchy show on Friday. It was also at the Bazaar Bar, so everybody kind of still pulled up. It was cool. Ricochet and Khan, and I always butcher his name. Tia Leona? No,
Toa
Leona. They pulled up, so they were showing love. Yeah, man. It was Manders was there right before he went to go win the title. Or not Manders. Manders was there. I'm talking about Manser. Yeah, he was cool, man. And that was that's Friday. Saturday we did the stadium swim. Yesterday did the show. And then we just got a quiet dinner last night, man. I'm on my way to this Netflix brunch in an hour and a half or so. Jeremy, you'll get a kick out of this. Club 520 is doing a live show at the brunch.
Oh, okay.
So that should be fun. Yeah.
Did they have any guests announced?
They haven't said anything yet.
Okay.
The way I have it set up, like talent's supposed to show up at like 9, and then brunch is at 10:30, and the show's at 11:30. So, gotcha. I'll saunter in there when it's time, but it should be fun.
Gotcha. I do love Jeff Teague. He's a fantastic storyteller. So
yes, one of the very best. And then being this killer guy, they're very fun. I feel like you can't do like last year where you had a champagne flute in your hand the entire time, because those guys are too funny. Like you'll actually like crack. Hey man, Cam's on vacation. You know what I'm saying? Cam's having a good time. But yeah, I finally get out of here. I'm going to Raw tonight. Finally get out of here tomorrow, and then it's back to the things that we normally do. But yeah, I'm working on that Hogan review. We actually sat there and watched the whole thing in the airport, basically, like on the way up here. And I took notes because that's how you write a review. Apparently, you take notes. It's been a pretty fun weekend so far. Again, I don't participate in as many things as I used to because I'm a little bit older, a little bit more tired. And Rose was here too, so we didn't not going to every single thing, under the sun. But yeah, good times. Very, very, very fun show yesterday. Saturday apparently wasn't good, but I'm out with like my friends and the people closest to me, and we're by a pool and we're drinking. I don't know if the show is good, bad, in between, needs a number, but Sunday was very fun. Sober Sunday was very fun watching the show. My favorite part, I don't know where I was going, but I got to the side of the stage when Trick was coming out. So I watched them attach the train, and then the train never stopped.
Yeah.
I took a side shot. The entire time, the train just keeps going. It was great.
So with this whole train, it was fantastic. It looked like his entrance was actually longer because he had to pull that damn thing, and it took a lot out of him, or it just was not moving.
Physics eventually got to him.
Yeah.
Right?
Resistance bar.
Yeah. But what it was, I feel like it had to come around the corner the way it was set up. You know what I mean? So it's probably some tug there. But yeah, he my man Trick. I hope he's there today. It's a funny guy.
He's been, so as a lot of people know, I cover a lot of interviews and media stuff in WrestleMania week, the biggest of them all, because everybody's doing media and stuff. I think Trick, and to the surprise of no one, Becky has been, they were kind of the MVPs of media week. Yeah, Becky didn't do like quite as much. She went on kind of like sort of like non-wrestling podcast to try to get like that audience, and stuff, but she's so personable and so good. And Trick did some non-wrestling stuff as well, but he did like the ESPN spots and a lot of like wrestling centric stuff, but he was fantastic every single
Yeah, he
time.
did the
And
pivot.
again,
He was really good on that.
yes, the pivot was a very good one, but yeah, he was on like a lot of ESPN stuff. And yeah, I don't think it's a surprise to anybody that both of them are fantastic at this stuff. You watch them on television, they're captivating, they're charismatic, they're good speakers, and so of course they're good in these settings. But even, some people who are like that can still be dull and dry and don't really give you anything, but you can just tell like they get it in those settings. And it's two different settings, right? Because Becky's speaking to an audience that might not know much about wrestling, and so she kind of has to like sell herself, sell her stories, and then also sell the event to an audience who might not quite get that, while Trick is selling all of the same thing but probably to an audience who has a better understanding of that. And both are difficult in their own ways, and both are just, I thought they were the two MVPs of WrestleMania week when it came to media interview stuff.
I think we've done a lot of these. I've been to a lot of these now. I don't know if I've walked out to the crowd, whether they are leaving the building or hanging around, outside of the building, that was like genuinely happy, satisfied, properly entertained with the main event. They seemed very, very happy about what they saw and about what happened. And, we've walked through those halls and people are not happy about it and are very disappointed in it and have everything to say. They seem to really one, enjoy the show, two, really enjoy the main event. So, I mean, that's what you want to happen, right? That's a good thing. Yeah. Fun times.
This is going to be an 8-hour show today.
You know what's funny, by the way, Cam? Does it get to you that you're going to be at Raw and Raw's going to end 2 hours later than both nights of WrestleMania ended for you? Brother, you could have gotten dinner after both shows with time to spare to do literally anything else. Tonight, not so much.
Hey, Cam probably got home in time to watch the Spurs game last night.
I did.
Yeah,
I got home literally at halftime, so we got to watch the whole second half of the game. And again, we have tickets for the game, but it also happened to be night 2 of WrestleMania. So,
priorities.
We'll get there. Get there.
Yeah, that one last night, I'm sure you saw it, like the arena setup with the.
It was beautiful.
It was so good. So good.
I had friends of mine were definitely on screen being forced to put their t-shirts on. It was great. It was great. Yeah, man. But yeah, no, the show will not be 8 hours because of me, guys. I'm going to continue to gather myself and make this one last appearance. Well, second to last appearance at a thing today. But much love as always. Be safe, and I'll talk to you guys soon. All right.
Appreciate you, Cam.
Later.
SP3's here too. Hi.
You didn't want to put me on with the Michael Ealy of wrestling media?
Well, I mean, you can pop yourself on. Don't you have access like that?
I do, but I don't want to disrupt the show, and you guys are having a good conversation. So
I mean, we were
I thought you were gonna pop me on.
We were just talking about Raw being later ending than Mania. You'd been fine. Could have popped in.
Yeah, I know you're a stickler for time of shows and everything.
Oh, last night, night before that, brother, fantastic. Being done before 10 Eastern. Whew.
Hey, you did a great job on the post show, Joel. I didn't watch it, but I know you did.
It is like I do appreciate that these WrestleMania shows at 9:30 last night, the post show that they do is done within like an hour. I think night 1 was like 45 minutes. I was like, yeah, run through this stuff. Let's get the hell out of here on this. I love being done with work by 11 o'clock.
Night 1 felt really, 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 really long. I always hear about, people complaining about freaking AEW pay-per-views. The people in the True Hill Heat chat that usually complain about that said nothing about the length of night 1 of WrestleMania. But I'm not here to accuse Romeo of being biased. But it felt really long because of the commercials. Like that 35-minute wait between the Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vicaire matchup and the main event was torture. It was torture. I have never seen that much of Hulk Hogan in my life, and I never want to ever again. I seen the Hulk Hogan documentary. I heard Cam saying, "Oh, you should really watch it." I did. I just had wrestling interrupting the Hulk Hogan documentary all night.
So we didn't, at least on ESPN, we didn't get that. So I assume the Hogan stuff was on Netflix.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Yeah,
it was on Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, ESPN. I didn't get any of that. I just got like a bunch of ads. I saw a lot of people talking about the Hogan. So with the Hogan documentary, was it just the same trailer over and over, or was it like clips?
It was different clips. It was different clips of the documentary. It was like literally. I think I saw it had to either be like Wrestle Talk or somebody else was like, here's a recap of WrestleMania. Hulk Hogan body slammed Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3. Hulk Hogan left WWE in 1993 and then he jumped to WCW. Hulk Hogan joined the NWO in 1996. Hulk Hogan had this great matchup with The Rock at WrestleMania when he returned to WWE in 2002, because that was the majority for people outside of the US. That is the majority of what we saw during WrestleMania. We saw more of that than we did actual wrestling. That show sucked. That was one of the worst professional wrestling shows I think I've seen in quite some time. Major shows, especially ones with that much focus. 84 minutes of wrestling in a 4-hour broadcast is utterly egregious.
So I said it in our group chat. I said it on Select. I will say it again tonight or today. Night one didn't bother me because I started night one. I started watching it at 8 p.m. Eastern. The show started at 6 Eastern. I was able to come in 2 hours into the show, watch every single match and segment, and be caught up to the main event as it was airing, as they were just starting to bring out Pat McAfee. That's how easy night one was for me. And so I understand that everyone who was watching live were like, oh my God, this show is dragging. For me, I was like, oh, this shit's almost over. And it's not even like 9:30. This rules. So I think it was just pacing was obviously a huge problem. No questions asked. Yeah. And for that, and then,
it was much improved last night. Last night it was actually I was literally taking notes of how long the gaps between the matches were, and they were much shorter on night 2 than they were in comparison to night 1. And I only saw the Hulk Hogan documentary I think twice throughout last night's show.
So I did it again last night, but I watched Brock and Oba, the full segment from top to bottom, live at 6 o'clock. And then I paused, put my kid down. That took about an hour. And then I was catching up again. And I was still caught up by the time the piano and drums and singer started for Roman's entrance. So again, I was able to do it all. Taking a big break goes a long way. And I understand if you're doing live coverage and you're doing live tweeting and you're trying to do stuff for work, like I fully understand it's a slog. But if you have the opportunity to just pause and walk away and then catch up, man, I highly recommend it. And I'm talking like just if you're a fan watching, just press pause, come back to it. It'll be better when you can skip all the bullshit. And that's what it was. So many ads, so much Hulk Hogan documentary plug. You could have missed and just you could have watched the wrestling and just been fine. And the matches were whatever. Like, again, too short on night 1. Night 2, they got better. I don't think that as a whole, this WrestleMania was great. I don't even think it was good. I think
at the very best, it averages out to like a thumbs in the middle.
And yeah, like, Jeremy was like a 5, and that's sure. Even I don't even know if I give it a 5. I think Punk and Roman.
Yeah, I was generous. I was generous on night 1. I gave it a 4 out of 10. Oof. And I gave 2 points to Seth and Gunther having the best match on that show. I gave 2 points to Bianca Belair announcing her pregnancy. I gave 1 point to Seth and Gunther and 1 point to Paige's return and the reaction that she got. Well, that's about it for night 1.
I'm glad you didn't give Bianca's return a C+.
That's weird, right?
That was very weird. I saw that after the fact. Like I saw the whole grading that Bleacher Report gave it, but then I started to see like people getting mad about it. I was like, why are people mad? And then I looked it up. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe you shouldn't have done that.
I was just like,
why are you like grading a pregnancy announcement? That's just weird to me.
You guys missed it. You missed it. It's because it's the C stands for child, and she is plus child, so it says C plus because she's child plus. It's inside of her.
I mean, if that's the logic, which I don't think it is,
That was absolutely not the logic. That's the only thing I can say to get people.
No.
Like he could. This person. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, Money Mark in the chat. I think he was Xing us, not the 0.00001% of the chat that I don't like. But he was Xing us. Was it worse than WrestleMania 9? Yes, in fact, it was. Seth and Gunther was probably better than any matchup on WrestleMania 9, but the overall viewing experience of WrestleMania 9 has a freaking hilarious charm to it, where this show felt like a corporate homogenized version of professional wrestling. It really was WWE becoming a product placement company masquerading as a wrestling promotion.
This is what I said after night 1, and it didn't really improve in night 2. The pacing was a little bit better. It did feel like there were less commercials, but it was very egregious in night 1. Is because of all the ads and everything, like the whole thing just like felt a little soulless in that. Why'd my chat just go blank? Like
because somebody just banned Zeno Hour or timed him out.
Okay, fine, but like my entire chat is gone because of that.
Yeah, I think because of that, it just. Are you Zeno Hour, Jeremy?
Maybe. But night 1, there was I mentioned soulless because like there was just like nothing to it. It was match, ad, entrance, match, ad, entrance. Like that was the whole pace. And like at least the past WrestleManias, you talked about like the charm of WrestleMania 9. It's like, oh, here's somebody coming in here's Heenan riding the camel backwards. Here's a backstage skit. Here's something going on here. Like there was none of that this WrestleMania. Like I legitimately cannot believe they had John Cena as the host and he just did the normal ass segments that you could put anybody out there for. Like it's a bigger deal because it's John Cena and it was more fun with Danhausen and John Cena. But like if Stephanie McMahon was in the ring announcing the attendance and Bianca comes out there and announces their pregnancy, like nothing about that segment changes. It's the same segment. Whoever the host was, or if it's Triple H coming out there to welcome everybody to the show to open it, nothing about that changes. Like you have John Cena and you're not doing like backstage stuff with like R-Truth. You're not doing like a backstage thing with like you can't get Kyrie and Io like and Asuka doing like a backstage thing like yelling at each other and Cena's got to come in, like do something here. There was none of that on this show.
And the bigger thing is there was only video packages for the 2 main events on either night of WrestleMania. They have literally become bombarded by ads that they forget that video packages is the way that you connect people to the matches that haven't been watching week to week, that aren't paid to watch week to week like we are. Yeah. There are certain people that just watch WrestleMania and they have no idea why these people are wrestling because you don't show video. Drew and Jacob Fatu didn't deserve a video package.
Like, so apparently in the stadium they got video packages. So
great, they're already bought in. They're there.
No, I agree, but I'm saying like they were there. It's just nobody at home got to see them, and so that is that's an issue. But it's not like we're not going to produce these video packages. Like they did produce these video packages. It was just only the 50,000 in attendance got to see them.
What a wild scenario. And then again, their video package team, like their producers, their editors do some of the best work, and they really pony up the stories for WWE when they don't do it themselves. Like they find a way to make those packages, make the build feel like they actually did something leading up to the match. They didn't get any of that to show the bigger audience, and I think that's just par for the course. Can I hit a couple super chats? You have something to add to this, to the video package stuff?
Go ahead.
C. Delgado saying, on my ESPN app, when it came back from commercials, it would kick back to the previous segment. I'd have to back out and restart to catch up. You talked about this one, Jeremy.
Yeah, I mentioned this when I jumped on the night 1 post show. It happened on night 2. Here's a hint, C. Delgado, or pro tip. You don't have to back out. You can like bring up the scroll, pause, play menu, and click the go live thing, and it'll jump you back into live instead of backing out and doing all that again. But it was still super annoying because it was literally every video package segment. Every ad segment, it would jump back. And so, it's doing this 4 or 5 times on this stuff. So yeah, that was very annoying. I don't think it was everybody who that happened to, but it does seem like it was a lot of people who had ESPN. It was doing that too. And maybe I should have watched it through Disney Plus or Hulu, but it's on ESPN. It was hit the Thunderbolt. Yeah, as Henry said, hit that because the ESPN app sucks, man. Like as someone who it was doing this to me during hockey all weekend as well. I was watching the Knights game last night, the Knights and Mammoth game. And all of a sudden, I'm back at like first intermission in the middle of the third period. I'm like, what is happening here? So ESPN, if it doesn't crash, it just jumps you back. It's a garbage ass app.
We have a VPN on the main channel. We use that promo code and get it because Netflix is a much more reliable viewing experience when it comes to WWE programming. I will leave it at that. Volop saying it's Monday 420, brother, and we're in the weeds, man. I hope everyone who's going to Raw tonight has a very good time and that the smoke never dissipates in the T-Mobile Arena. That's all I got to say about that.
Travis Scott going to be on the show. Travis
Yo,
Scott
true. Lighting up with Jay. Let's go. Light up with Jay and we'll have a good time. See Delgado saying, when is ITW going to buy a seat next to Cole?
That shit was weird. Like
so weird. They didn't let him talk.
He wasn't.
Well, they probably shouldn't. Yeah, I don't think he was supposed to talk. Like,
he could have said him. He could have let him say hi.
Bought it through On Location. His name was Adam Weitzman. First of all, he's like a billionaire scrap dealer who apparently has some check bouncing allegations / issues / has been
fits right in
convicted. And he spent the money and he got to sit with Cole and Wade and have it on it. It was the weirdest, most off-putting thing I has ever seen at a WrestleMania. And I've seen some shit. At one point I was like, what are all those little dots around the ring? I thought maybe it was something like fun or something profound. No, it turns out it was you pay more money, you get your name printed on the ring canvas, because I saw green shirt guy had green shirt guy in a little square on the canvas. That's what it was. It was people's name. If you go back and watch the show, you'll see little dots on the canvas surrounding under the ring. Those are people's names who bought through On Location, and that's part of the gimmick. Couldn't believe it.
Look, man, honestly, like I truly respect how they wring every last dime out of these people, because they actually, if they're gonna pay for it, I'd do it too. Like, wait, you guys are gonna pay to have your little name in a circle around the ring? Okay, yeah, I'll do that. But I honestly respect how they wring the money out of these people, because these people keep paying for it.
Speaking of people who keep paying and wringing money, this post show is going on forever and ever.
Post show. I mean, Andrew Darian
event.
I'm not. Hello, Jeremy.
Nice eyebrows.
There you go. I had to cancel my meetings in the city today because I've had a gout flare up.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I'm drinking disgusting tart cherry juice, trying to kick this.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
You gotta stop eating all that chopped liver.
Dude, you know what I think it is? I think I'm being poisoned by my peptides.
I don't think it's the peptides doing it.
Bobby Kennedy's worm is leading me down a bad road.
Very excited to welcome to Beyond the Belt. I'm Andrew Darian. Tomorrow,
my wife Cheryl.
Let me talk to you about my life.
There's a bomb in the car.
I just wanted to try the penis of the raccoon.
You know, my friend Tim has a great line, because he's friends with Bobby and Cheryl, and he says, you know, Cheryl is this beautiful, you know, sunshine and butterflies and rainbows, and Bobby, the CIA murdered his family, so they're a perfect pairing.
Jesus Christ.
Allegedly.
Yeah, let's get that out there.
Allegedly. Oh, how you doing? Did you enjoy the shows? All part of the shows?
I hated night one. It was abysmal. Okay, I'm gonna ask this, and I don't mean this as like a joke. Is it one of the worst WrestleManias?
Yes.
Yes.
Night one on its own. Like, it's worse than WrestleMania 9?
Thank you. That's what I literally just said before you came
Did you really?
on here. Someone someone in the chat was like, "Is it worse than WrestleMania 9?" I was like, "There's a charm to WrestleMania 9. Seth versus Gunther is probably the best match between those two shows, but the show overall is god awful. It was not good whatsoever. Like that is horrible." And then the main event was like the cherry on top, where they couldn't decide what story they wanted to tell. It's one of the most confusing experiences that I've ever had watching a WrestleMania.
It was a night of compromises.
I wanna. It's 420. Like I wanna like get high and watch that match and see. Like I wanna watch like start to finish, like the build and everything, and just see how little sense it makes when you're like stoned. Hold on. Why are we bearing WrestleMania 30? What?
That's a Danielson one, right?
Yeah. Why are we bearing?
Yeah, what are you talking about? WrestleMania 30 is a top 12, top 10 WrestleMania. What the hell?
Yeah. WrestleMania 30 has Danielson, Triple H, Danielson winning the title, Undertaker streak. Yeah, Undertaker's streak being broken, which, I mean, not a great match, but like huge moment.
The only good Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal with Cesaro lifted up Big Show and eliminating him.
Oh, it had the moment with
beating up the Attitude Era. That was great.
Yeah, it had the moment with Austin, Rock, and Hogan to start the show. Like, there's really good matches and top tier moments there. Like, what are we now? WrestleMania 30 is great. Come on now.
What do you mean? Yeah, I was trying to think, like, comparing that. If just night one, night two was really good. I really liked night two. Night two was a fun show. This company course adjusted, so like they don't know balance. Even when they course adjust, they do it the wrong way. Like that show ended so quickly. You couldn't have given me another match.
No, you will get more ad, and you will like it. That's all you get. You will get awkward billionaire man sitting at the table getting introduced, and you will like it. And he will not say a word because contractually he is not allowed.
I think it was $100,000 he paid for that.
Well, he's a billionaire anyway, but Jesus.
I mean, fine. You know what? If someone's willing to pay $100,000, you know, might as well be a billionaire that could afford it.
Like I said, like
he's bounced checks before.
I respect the TKO is like, hey, you want to pay this much to do this? Sure. All right, cool. We'll take your money. Like, get your money if these idiots are going to keep paying.
I don't know. I did not like night one at all. Night two was fine. It was okay. It's just, if I were to describe it, it is soulless. It was a soulless show.
Oh yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
Even the good stuff was soulless. It is a machine. You know, I feel like when I go to Broadway all the time with the kids, right? That's what we do. We go see plays, we go see everything. When I go there, I watch it and I say, well, that was good, that was bad, whatever, you know, and that's it. I'm done. That's how this felt. It's very in its own.
This is, I said on the show on Friday, I was like, I look forward to WrestleMania because even if the build isn't good, even if like I'm not looking forward to some of the matches, and even if I think the wrestling might be bad, it's like it's still WrestleMania. There's still like a charm, a pageantry, and to all of this stuff. Like it's the biggest show of the year. We're all wrestling fans. We all grew up watching WrestleMania. There's something about the show itself, right? At least there should be. And after this weekend, I'm like, it doesn't feel like that anymore. And I will continue to harp on there, like no backstage segments, no like celebrity, like the only celebrity stuff. This is why I love George Kittle in night one. At least he's like, shit, I'm on screen. Let me chug this beer. Let me take this beer from Halliburton and chug this beer. Otherwise, it's just like these celebrities who no one cares about, just standing there like, yay, we're here because we got paid to be here. Again, no, you can't do backstage segments with these people. You can't do, like, we all remember Andre choking Euchre, right? We all remember Kane tombstoning Pete Rose, right? Yeah. Like, there's none of that stuff anymore. The celebrities are just in the matches now instead of.
Listen, there was no like, Austin. Where was Austin? Where was Austin?
Yeah. He was drinking coffee at Bloodsport. That's what he was doing.
I wanted him and Danhausen in a segment, and I didn't get it.
Yeah. And even the stuff they did with John Cena was hilarious because it was like, This is Jeremy. This is what I told you. It was John was going to play ball as long as Danhausen was putting over John Cena, and that's exactly what happened. Danhausen comes out and he's got his mystery machine. By the way, Detective Danhausen back on the table, and he comes out and after the whole thing, the entrance, he's like, "I have something to say to you, John Cena. Very big fan, love your work." And that's it. That was the sole interaction between the two of them. That's all.
I wanted him looking for Cena the entire show where he can't see him.
Yes.
He can't see him and he's looking, goes, "John, are you here? No, I can't see you." You know, he does his whole thing.
Yes.
I don't know. But listen, those are like the little nuances. As far as the show goes.
Right, but those little nuances like kind of make the show a lot of times.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Otherwise, you're just showing me, clips from a documentary that's coming out.
Or
I did really
DoorDash.
enjoy on Saturday night after night one, and everybody was complaining that those matches were so short, right? They were like 8-minute matches, 6-minute matches, and people were defending and saying like WWE is about the story. Nobody's watching it for the wrestling. If you're watching WrestleMania for the wrestling, you're watching the wrong show. And I'm like, what are you talking about, dude?
No, my favorite person was the person who said that the NFL for the Super Bowl only play 18 minutes of the game across a 3-hour broadcast. And I was like, you don't know how much time is a football game.
How long? How long is
minutes? He said 18 minutes of playtime over a 3-hour.
He was talking about he's talking about lingerie football because that's the only thing he's ever
yeah
in his life.
The Puppy Bowl. He's talking about the Puppy Bowl.
It's the Super Bowl halftime show. I saw Kendrick Lamar at the halftime show. 18 minutes. That's all it was.
Yeah.
I mean, a football game is only 60 minutes, and it is like a 3.5-hour broadcast. So it's kind of the same. You only get an hour of football in a 3.5-hour broadcast. I can respect.
He said 8. He said 18.
Yeah, 18's a little.
He dropped.
Yeah,
he dropped
30 minutes.
minutes.
I wouldn't even mention it. I would be like, he just doesn't know how long a football game is. He said 18. That's why it just popped me so much. I was like, that's hilarious.
I do. 18's a little bit much, but like I see the point these people are trying. It's a stupid point, but like I see the point these people are trying to make just to like defend the stuff. But then like, oh, I watch WWE for the story, not the wrestling and everything. But then you watch that main event and like, can you tell me what the fucking story was for that thing? Like, please. What is the story that you were trying to tell here? Because there is none for this main event. It's choose your own adventure on what it wants to be. Like, I love that main event because it's so god awful, and so it's right up my alley.
Yo,
which one?
Night one ruled.
Night one, yeah.
That main event ruled. Yeah.
I went from the like after the match ended, I was like, that's like 2.5 stars. Then I went from 2 stars. Then I reviewed the show yesterday. I was like, this is a 1-star matchup. Like I went down so much over the course of sleeping on it and thinking about all the stuff that didn't make sense. I was like, the 5 minutes in the middle that was actually good does not make up for all of this.
WrestleMania night. I'm on Cage Match. Okay, WrestleMania night 2.
Well, who cares about Cage Match?
6.64.
6.5. I can't. I yesterday when I looked for night 1, it was 2. It was like a 2.5.
2.8 right now. 2.8.
Yeah,
6.5 seems a little.
That's low. That's low. That's a little low.
Yeah.
I think that's people who are still upset over night 1 and they're taking it out on night 2.
Listen, it was a solid B+ show. It was a solid B+. Yeah. And that's not an insult. B+ is fine. An 88 is fine.
So here's the thing with Cage Match. Because the Brock match was under 5 minutes, you're not going to get a rating. People would be rating it much higher if that were the case.
Oh, yeah. That match should be 10 for a lot of people. So
yeah, I was like, that was perfect.
Yeah.
That was perfect. That was exactly what it needed to be.
The amount of calls that I got from people that only watch like a WrestleMania, like people in my life, about the Brock Lesnar Obafemi match said a lot to me because everybody knew Brock, but a lot of these people have no idea who Oba is. They don't watch it like that. They only watch, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, and WrestleMania. And everybody was so high on this guy. Who is he? Oh my God, his walk. It worked. Whatever that was, it worked.
They knew what they were getting into with that one. That was the right place as well for night 2 to be at the opening slot. Brock, I'm sure, was more than happy to get out because he's done. Like, he doesn't give a shit. He's not done, but he just wants to go and just be done. That's it. So first match on ESPN Prime, like, they wanted it, he got it, he was happy to do it, and Oba looked like $1 million, so it worked out.
Here's how you know night 2 was really good. Tony Khan did not tweet AEW is where the best wrestle.
It's true.
That's how you know night 2 was actually good.
The AEW account instead just promoted Dynamite. That was it.
Yeah, so but it ain't Tony. It ain't Tony doing it.
He had the tweet, and then he saw Roman and Punk. He's like, God damn it!
You put it away.
Put that one away.
Put that one away. Damn it!
You got lucky. He's texting Punk afterward, just being like, "You son of a bitch, you got me this time."
I'm gonna run now, guys. I got a show.
SP3's got his own review.
Myself, yeah. I would invite Jeremy, but he does too much on this channel, so we need to get him back on. It's been 3 years since he did the WrestleMania review. One of our
there's no fun stuff that happens on WrestleMania, and like Snoop Dogg is showing up to WrestleMania to be the greatest performer of all time. So it's like
hilariously, my daughter wanted to watch that this morning. She was like, "I want to watch WrestleMania from 2023."
Harlem knows ball. We've always known Harlem knows ball. Harlem knows ball.
All right, good.
See you tomorrow, buddy.
Good seeing you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.
Buddy. Take care of yourself.
Later. Now I got to press all these buttons to get out.
Joel, are you coming for Double or Nothing?
No, I'm not coming for Double or Muffin. I got something to do in July with AEW instead.
What do you have going on in July with AEW? There's no shows in Canada.
There's the show that I've been.
Okay. That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be brushing up on my French for that particular weekend.
How do you feel about the French Canadians? You guys have a feud, right?
I mean, not me particularly. No.
No. You personally.
Me personally.
I know how you feel about them.
You should bury them.
Oh, that's fine. I want to be able to cross into Quebec. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say too much?
Yeah.
The French Canadians need to accept me. I will be around.
You should bury them.
Well,
I agree.
They have until the end of the month, the end of month of July, to work with me. There you go. It'll be, you know what? I feel like after everything I deal with these French Canadians, maybe I can go and it will be my redemption.
Yeah, maybe. Well, end of July is nice. It's after Bastille Day, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
After the 4th. Am I in the States on that weekend?
What the hell?
I am not
talking about.
No, just secret stuff that Joel and I and half the internet knows about.
As I say, I know about this. I just
wanted
to jump in.
Oh man.
People, I mentioned that name that they trademarked is for the pay-per-view, and I said it on the show, thinking it's been public.
Nope.
No.
Not in fact been public.
Yeah. Did you get a phone call? About
I got a very aggressive text message saying,
really?
dude, that's it. Just dude, come on.
Dude.
Bryan Danielson was so pissed at you.
He was so mad.
That's fine. It's from the same people who think that me asking Tony about the Ricochet tweets means I'm never coming back. I'm never going to be allowed back.
True. Your credential is going to get denied. They're going to Andreas Hill you.
You're gonna send the same message, Andreas.
Did you see what R-Truth wrote to him?
Yeah.
It's not my place to talk about it, but I will say there are going to be people talking about it. We're going to have a very similar point of view to the one that
was that a real point of view? Was that like a legitimate tweet to him? Because he's a nice guy.
I think
both of them.
People sent the searched tweets that Andreas said about Ron Killings over the years, and that made Truth mad, and Truth decided to react based on those tweets from like a decade of tweets.
Yeah,
where most of them are pretty.
I don't think I maybe I have, and I would apologize if I've ever criticized talent for their talent. I never talk about the wrestlers ever. I will say if something was bad or good, but I never take like an attack on a talent, you know?
Yeah, Andreas's tweet wasn't. he was talking about a segment.
He was
I feel
talking
like
about a segment. If it's what I think it is.
Yeah, but he used, I don't know, maybe something that I can kind of get it. But I think if like you just like sat them down in a room, they could hash it out pretty quickly.
Sure.
Because by all accounts, like we've had Andreas on the show. I've had a few conversations with him. He's a very nice guy. Everyone speaks very highly of him. Everyone seems to love R-Truth. So I feel like they could, figure that out pretty quickly and it would be okay. I don't think, as Cam said, I don't think R-Truth went to management like, hey, ban this guy type of thing. Like I said earlier, you made it a bigger deal by even doing this anyway. Like just give him the credential. He shows up. I don't know what these people do.
Well, remember, this is the same company that banned Ariel Helwani.
Yeah, and I mentioned that TKO just has like a history of kind of doing this stuff, whether it's UFC or whether it's boxing. And to me, like it just doesn't. UFC, it's a little bit different. And same thing with boxing because like you actually have sort of access and there is a press conference where you can ask stuff and all this. Like there's none of that there. Like you just sit in the box, you get food. Maybe you get some like interviews and stuff through like the car wash stuff, but it's not like they're sending like, no offense to the talent they do send, but they ain't sending Roman and Cody and Punk and all the talent for that. It's like, hey, here's like 2 minutes with Carmelo Hayes, and they're like, all right, moving on. Like that's who. Like, here's 2 minutes. Like most of the people who they send aren't even on the damn show. Like it's like Carmelo and Raquel and Cardona. Like these people aren't even on the show. So
last year was very similar as well.
Yeah. Like that's all you're really losing at this point. And to me, it's like, why don't just give him the credential? Who cares? He's not going to like do a whole lot with it. And you make it a bigger deal by pulling it because now it's so talked about.
Yeah. I'm being harassed in the chat room about the Mets, my New York Mets.
I thought Danhausen uncursed them. Did that not work?
No. You know what? That no good mayor of us cursed us when he hugged Mr. Met. There were 0-11 since he hugged Mr. Met. He needs to go back and take that hug back.
Maybe he should hug Mrs. Met.
No, they would have canceled him for that. You're not allowed to in New York. You can't look at women in New York.
You can't look at pictures of them at a swimming party.
Either. You can't look at women in New York. It's illegal. It's banned.
Oh, okay.
Every day.
Men, totally okay. You can look at all the men that you want, all the beefcakes you want. You can look at them.
Let's go.
We're 0-11. We're 0-11.
Look at this. Someone just drops in the chat. First time, go Braves.
Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
Do you know? I there's somebody that I know that works at Warner. Okay. And you know they released those really cool like TBS jerseys. The Atlanta Falcons, the Atlanta Braves released those TBS jerseys now that say TBS Superstation on them. And this man, I told him I will never speak to him again. I'll never buy him another drink. I'll never talk to him again if he wore an Atlanta Braves jersey, and I prevented him from buying it.
Wow, that's a jerk move, Zarian.
Yeah.
I gotta say.
All about it.
Yeah.
You should have gotten one for yourself, if anything, right?
What, the TBS jersey? I am Mr. TBS, aren't I?
Yeah. I feel like you should have just gotten one for yourself.
I don't know how I could be a Braves fan living in New York.
Yeah, you got 2 teams.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
I got 2 teams already, and see, I was a Don Mattingly fan. That's how I started. I was not a Yankees fan. I was a Don Mattingly fan. I met him at a birthday party, a friend's birthday.
Did he shave those sideburns?
Shaved those sideburns, Mattingly. No, but he did a great magic trick.
Okay.
Yeah, he did a great magic trick, and then he told everybody I was not here because he was in his uniform and he took off.
Oh, Bill Murray, Don Mattingly. I get it.
Yeah, he did a good move.
Amazing.
Talking about the Mets being awful, look what I got here. Something that's not awful. Okay? The only time I'll ever see this in my life.
No, you got a ring.
I got an 86 World Series ring.
Look at that.
How much you pay for that?
I got it for free.
Oh, okay.
As a season ticket holder for the Mets.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for putting up with us as we've sucked. Here's a token of the last time we were.
That's what it was. It's like, hey, we made a lot of really odd moves this offseason. Here you go.
Here's a reminder of the good times.
Yeah.
It's like Leafs fans getting 19.
It was their giveaway. It was their giveaway. They did a big giveaway for these.
So they're plastic, is what they are.
No, they're metal. It looks like a real like graduation ring.
Yeah, it looks pretty sweet. Yeah.
All right, okay, nice. Under studio lights, it'll shimmer a little bit. Nice.
It'll shimmer. Yeah.
Cute.
It's 420. Are you guys partaking today?
I
live in Canada. Every day is 420 by these standards.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. I live in New York. Every day is 420 here too.
Yeah, see, like it doesn't matter anymore. Someone had pointed out on Twitter, they're like, at this point, the only thing you're getting is like a cheap pre-roll, and even that's going to be more expensive. So,
I'm a big fan of the seltzers, the THC seltzers, 20 calories a piece. It's nice and light. And then I like these. Have you seen these?
Of course, you've got more pills.
Yeah, look at these.
Okay.
For
energy.
Yeah, but look.
I don't think there's much energy in those pills.
No, there is. There's some caffeine and there's some THC. It's nice.
It's gonna.
Are we gonna get demonetized for this?
Oh no. It's vitamins. It's a vitamin supplement.
Oh right,
Okay.
my bad.
Look. It's ashwagandha. It's L-theanine. It's caffeine. Galangal. I don't know what that is.
Me neither. Me neither.
At some point, I gotta go to hang out with you, Zarian, and we gotta take edibles and share.
Oh, dude, I'd love
together.
that. I would love that. I got a big tub. Have you seen my tub? I think you have. I think I've sent you boys pictures of me in my tub.
Yeah, that's actually true. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll show you.
I want to see it, in person with you in it, with both of us.
I'm always in it. I'm always in it. I'm always in that tub.
You are the
But so we all agree night 2 was terrible. Night 1 was terrible. Night 2 was great.
I mean, I wouldn't say great. I think the bar was in hell.
It was really
fine.
good.
Yeah.
I thought
really
it had a
good.
strong open and a strong close and some stuff in the middle that worked.
Joel's just like, everything's fine. Night 1 was fine. Night 2 was fine.
Listen, like night 2, I think the main event was great. I think that they made the right choice with Oba and Brock. They left some stuff open-ended. That was good. I can't tell you, like Rhea and Jade, yeah, that was probably Jade's best match on WWE programming for sure. And they still had to do Zabata to get through it. The street fight with Balor and Dominic was thrown together because they were told at the last minute, oh, by the way, it's going to be a street fight, so get your tables and chairs ready. And then Trick and Sammy was like, we're doing a double turn, but we're not really going to full force it, but we're also going to kind of get there. Like, there was stuff that worked, but it felt like, I don't know, the 5 pounds of shit in a 10-pound bag almost.
Skipping the ladder match there. The ladder match was fantastic.
Yeah, it was good. Look at this guy sending me bath photos.
Yeah.
I said to Jeremy too.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I got it as well. Yeah.
What a life.
That's how I watch the Mets.
Just because it's the only way you get through it.
Well, the only way, if they're winning, it's enjoyable. If they're not, I could slowly drown myself.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
I appreciate
that also
that.
happens.
I appreciate that perspective.
Oh, and yes, the ladder match was good, but it's a car crash ladder match. Like, how much are you going to get out of this? That's different. They did some fun
Yeah.
spots.
I got a lot out of it to me. That was fun.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. That's good.
Joel hates wrestling, confirmed.
I do hate wrestling.
I know you do.
That's why July is gonna suck. It's gonna be hot.
Where else do you have to go in July?
Nowhere planned other than the taking on the French Canadians.
See, I'm in Italy in July.
Now you got to come back. You've been told.
I'm going to Sicily. I'm going to Sicily for 2 weeks.
The wrestling gods have spoken. You must be back. When do you come back from Sicily? What's your date?
Actually, I think I come in on the 25th.
Oh, well, perfect. Why don't you just reroute your flight and come and hang out?
Go to Montreal? Go straight to Montreal from Italy?
Why would you go to Montreal at the end of July? What are we doing? What's this about?
I don't know.
Well, there you go. Maybe we'll see you there.
Not WWE Clash in Italy. There's nothing less I would want to do than to go to Italy and go to a wrestling show.
You don't have $11,500 to plop down to make pasta with WWE superstars?
Oh, what kind of pasta are we making? Okay, are you making me some disgusting carbonara?
I want to know who you're making it with. They haven't told us which WWE wrestler's doing it, and I need it to be either Chelsea Green or Danhausen. Otherwise, completely.
Oh yeah,
wrong.
we had this discussion before they had Danhausen. Now you gotta throw like he should just do all this stuff, right?
Yes, he should. Today we're going to make pasta.
Yeah, I would like. I wouldn't mind making pasta with Danhausen.
Yeah, anything with Danhausen, he's gonna make the best of it.
That's right. It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Do Swedish Chef. Do it with Rusev.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait till they go to Bulgaria and we could have like Bulgarian feta and dolma.
They ain't going there. There ain't enough.
How much is it to make dolma with Rusev?
Fair. CJ Perry being like, I'm an legend.
That I would pay money for. To make dolma with Rusev, I would pay big bucks for.
You probably don't pay for it. You can just message him and he'll be like, oh, I got you, brother.
Yeah, I got you. This is what my grandmother would make.
Yeah, he'll be like, let's do it together.
I'm telling you, dude, every time I see that man, I can't not think about the random Bulgarians that would show up at my house in the dead of night to do business with my grandfather. And then we would get letters from the DMV. Yeah, my grandfather was one of them. I don't know what. Listen, I could be making a joke. I cannot. The man is dead, okay? The man is dead. I don't know what went on. All these random Bulgarians would show up, hand them money in envelopes, and then we would get letters from the DMV for them. I don't know what racket was happening.
Speaking of which, I just saw a tweet that really got me. WWE is going to sign Britt Baker and have her in the back giving fans veneers like Roman for $20K in a meet and greet experience.
Oh my God. You want an even worse one?
What?
She teams up with Danhausen. She pulls the teeth and gives it to him.
That'd actually be a good bit.
I'm all right with that. That's a mixed match challenge made in heaven for me.
Yeah,
that is the best mixed match challenge.
Brother, they are a few years away. They're 2 years away from the potential of needing to find their money, because who knows if the Saudis are going to reinvest after all this ends. Who knows
if they're going there next year?
Well, I think they will, but
I think they will too.
Yeah.
The live golf stuff is though, if I'm WWE, if I'm TKO, I'm just like, we should probably get our affairs in order to find out how we're going to make up for the $100 million we're going to lose every year from this deal.
I don't know. I feel like the Saudis are going to keep.
Yeah, I think the Saudis want them. Yeah, they want them.
All right, we're going to find out soon enough. I know that live was their own thing, and golf is not as popular as wrestling in this case. I wonder if they want to keep this as part of their game plan moving forward.
You also they got some good golfers for live, but they just try to change it up so much. It's like, we're only going to do 3 rounds and 16 holes and all this stuff, and it's going to move faster and everything, and I don't think people wanted that. And now, with wrestling, it's still WWE. You're still getting allegedly the best of the best and the biggest. You're at least getting the biggest, right? It's still the biggest show out there. I just think it's a completely different situation.
So did anybody explain how they moved 6,000 tickets in a matter of hours?
They discounted them.
They either discount them or the casinos ponied up.
So I've been trying to figure out, because I have a Vegas connection. The casino numbers are generally the first ones that are put out there, unless WWE held that.
There were a bunch of creators who were planning to be just not at the show, and then suddenly had tickets to the show 10 minutes after the doors opened. So
interesting.
There is that. I saw
also NAB was in town too, so I'm wondering if that boosted some at the last minute.
Yeah, it's possible that they were just like, hey, what are you up to tonight? Come watch the wrestling and you'll be out in time for dinner on the Strip.
And then you had people that were in Vegas that didn't go. They just hung out by a pool.
Brother, I would have done the same.
Our fearless leader here at Fightful, he was living the life at that pool.
He was there to do Circumania. He wasn't there to do WrestleMania. And
I know.
Good for him, man. At the end of the day, I was saying earlier today, on Friday, I was like a bit of FOMO, being like, man, I wish I was there. I could, do so much more than I did last year, blah, 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 make an impact. And then by Saturday, I was like, nah, fuck this shit. I'm glad I didn't go.
Yeah.
Not about the flights, just about everything that was going on. I just did not have an interest in being there anymore.
If I never go to Vegas again, I'm okay.
I don't mind going. I'm not going anytime soon. I also don't want to do another cross-country flight for a while because of my hip. And
and you don't come here ever.
Well, I'm not going anywhere south of the border until post-May at the earliest.
Post-May.
Yeah. Wait, when are midterms? November?
Midterms?
Yeah, when are your midterms?
Midterm elections?
Yeah, when are the midterms this year?
November.
November. So probably next year is the earliest I would consider it.
The midterm. I thought you meant like high school midterms. I'm like, what is Joel talking about? When are midterms? I'm like,
I said that a lot. What is Joel talking about?
Fair. You people are monsters. I have no
dude,
interest.
it was an interesting weekend of shows. I thought there was some really cool stuff. I really enjoyed Brian Alvarez and Sean.
I gotta have a conversation.
That was the highlight of my weekend.
Does this mean I have to host Observer Live now? Is that how this works? I now transfer over to a different show?
No, why would that be it? Alvarez won. He's gonna call the shots. He doesn't know who you are.
Yeah.
He knows who I am.
Do you want to host Observer Live? Do you want to do it? You can sub in for me anytime.
I was going to say, do you want to do it? Because you don't.
I want to do it? I think everybody knows the answer to that. Do you want to do it? That's the question.
No, I don't think I could do Sundays at 6 when I have
What
a
is
family.
this?
I'd rather spend
Who's doing that show at 6 p.m.?
When are you doing it?
Bright and early.
Are you doing noon now?
No, I record it first thing in the morning and then I send it to them.
Right, because once upon a time there used to be phone lines. Not anymore.
Once upon a time I had these that I was using.
Good time.
So I know I got too much. I got my son's in Little League. He's in the Bayside Little League. My daughter is in volleyball. So my entire weekend is monopolized by baseball and volleyball.
I get it.
So, all right. Well, boys, I'm leaving. I'm going to let you guys end the show.
And we're not
we have like.
What do you mean? It's 12 o'clock.
Yeah, we have barely reviewed WrestleMania at this point because
oh my god,
so many people have come in.
Oh my god,
got a full rundown of WrestleMania on the main channel that people can watch. So this is more Jeremy giving his thoughts.
So I have a question for you guys, and then I'm going to leave because I really have I'm curious about this.
Sure, you will.
No, I promise. How many Americans are going to Saudi Arabia for WrestleMania?
As many as will pay for the on location package.
Yeah.
Adam Waitsman will probably be there.
Who?
Adam Waitsman, green shirt guy, because he went to the Rumble. There will be others. There will be people who go because they will be told by their dear leaders at TKO that Saudi is safe and you should come. Oh my God, they treat us so well. Look at us. And they'll say, oh, we should do this. How much are tickets? And they'll go across and hope.
That's such a long trip. A grueling long trip to go watch wrestling.
They'll talk about why the Europeans come to wrestling all the time, and if they can do it, so can you. Are you weak Americans? Blah blah blah. And they're like, no.
The Europeans are going to Saudi Arabia to watch wrestling?
No. The point was that the Europeans make the trek to the U.S. traditionally, not this year, for WrestleMania. Therefore,
because the U.S. is great.
Yeah, well. According to WWE,
we're the best. We're the best in the world at everything. Well, right, Jeremy?
According to TKO, next year allegedly. The place to be is going to be in Saudi Arabia, the best in the world in everything they do.
The best in the world is in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, then that's what they're going to be told.
I mean, that's where Shane McMahon won the title, so yeah.
That's true. That was the best in the world.
And he is the best in the world.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
He loves his Coors. He loves his Coors Lights at the Yankee game.
He has the trophy or some shit to prove it, right?
It's true. Yeah. And on top of that, he probably won't step foot in a WWE event ever again. So probably is the best McMahon.
Do you think Vince watched WrestleMania last night?
Yes, he probably hated it too.
You think he's sitting there taking notes?
Yeah,
he has to be.
The funniest thing. Look, fuck that dude. But that TMZ Hulk Hogan documentary when he is like, can't believe it. They just came out there and they booed Hulk. Like, I would have handled it so much differently. Like, he's actively burying their usage of Hogan at the Netflix thing and just taking shots at Triple H. I was like, yeah, he still watches this stuff and like hates everything about it.
I wonder, like, somebody once said this to me. A talent, an older former talent said this to me. He goes, "Oh man, I wish it was Danielson." This person said to me that Vince actually really loves professional wrestling, and the way that he sees it is that his personal likings should not dictate what he does on TV. And all I could think of was everything that they have done in that company is to his liking. All those fart jokes. Who are you making those fart and vomit jokes for? It's no one else but Vince.
Yes, the writers are told to pitch directly to Vince as if you're writing for Vince.
Yeah, and now the narrative is like, no. Vince McMahon is a huge Mid-South fan. He loved Continental. Sure, but, he's catering to a main TV.
Sure, at some point he probably enjoyed professional wrestling. And then at some point somebody said you can make a lot more money doing this bullshit. And he said, well, that sounds better, pal. And here we are.
I don't know. I'd love for him to just, like, a conversation of hearing him talk about, like, New Japan.
I'm sure he keeps it. I have no idea. But I've heard that whole thing of, like, Vince listens to the audience. JBL talks, Undertaker talks about that of, like,
yes, everyone that Vince ever put over absolutely knows that they listened.
Yeah, like that's the impression they want to give is, this is not Vince's actual idea of wrestling, except it is because he's the one, and like like that's fine. Like it's the same thing with Tony. Right? Like Tony is booking the show he wants to book that he thinks is great for his audience and his personal taste. Now, does he veer off of that sometimes and do things that, like, okay, this might work because I trust this person? Yes. It's literally, that's what every single major booker does. It's, what do I like? How is this going to work for the things that I feel good about? And does it translate into the audience? And if it doesn't, then I got to change course. And if it does, we're going to keep doing it. Like, it's no different than any other of these bookers.
Yeah, I don't know. I think what Tony's putting on. I mean, actually, is Tony putting on his shows? Because if it was, it would be death matches.
I think Tony's.
He is putting on death matches.
He is putting on death matches. So.
It's the thing is, like, I do think Tony likes a lot of the variety, and so that's what he's doing. Like, I don't think Tony wants to do a ton of, like, entertainment stuff, but he knows that for certain people it's going to work a certain way, and so he goes there. But Tony, this is why most of the show is like, here's this really great wrestling match, because Tony just loves really great wrestling matches. And then you see the Mid-South influence, but you definitely see the ECW influence on a lot of these shows. Yeah.
I see exactly what I was influenced by with wrestling. We're the same age, or give or take a year. We were on the same message boards. We were tape trading the same stuff. I was explaining to Jess, I'm like, I used to get my address to, like, these random guys on the internet to mail me tapes.
Yeah, it was like fine back then. No one
like IWA death matches and all a bunch of stuff like FMW. Like I would tape trade. I would buy the tapes. I wouldn't even trade them. FMW, and Wings and all this stuff. Like that's what sucked Tony in too. So same with me, because it was like. I always considered, like, the Faces of Death era of tape trading. Like, these were taboo. This was like a snuff film you were getting. And then you find out it's all worked. Now I just watch real snuff films. Yeah.
Or the Death Vegas main event. That looked like a snuff film.
Yeah. Oh, my God, yeah. All right, I'll let you guys do your show. All right, I'm done hijacking. My apologies.
Bye, buddy.
Goodbye.
Oh, no apologizing. This is fun. Thank you.
Goodbye, Joel.
Goodbye. The one and only Andrew Zarian.
Love Zarian.
Why is there so much biting in AEW matches, though? Well, Tony books to his own proclivities. Tony's actually a vampire.
Don't judge. Yeah, don't judge. What are we doing?
You let Tony be Tony. Oh man. Let's talk about it. Trick Williams.
I'm glad Trick won. That was a good match. No, it felt pretty short, but I didn't mind that one was short. Trick got his moment.
It was the shortest match on the card that wasn't Brock.
Okay. Well, there you go. Yeah, I'm glad Trick got his moment. I think that was the right call. They should just go full bore with a Sammy heel turn and then a Trick babyface turn. It felt like they were mostly doing that.
Trick was selling babyface and peril the entire match. To me,
Yeah.
that was them just being like, you know what to do, crowd. You've already made your decision.
Yeah. So I thought it was a good match. I felt bad for little Yachty because he was trying to do like the viral entrance at whatever festival that it was that like a lot of people like to recreate, and that crowd did not know what the fuck was going on with that. Like no one cared.
Yachty was great for this whole presentation. I thought he played his part perfectly.
I thought Yachty, from the moment they brought him in to last night, like that was the perfect use of a celebrity in that spot. Like, hey, he's a manager. The heat's not really on him. Like it's a way to get it onto Trick because Trick was supposed to be the heel going into this, but he didn't overshadow like Trick, and he didn't talk too much. You know, he wasn't out there bearing the business or anything. His whole purpose was to let me talk down on the guy Trick's gonna face and let me talk up Trick. Yeah. It's pretty simple. They make it difficult sometimes, but it's pretty simple. And Yachty did a fantastic job.
He was Trick's guy. That's all he needed to be. He didn't need to talk for anyone else. He got Trick into trouble once on SmackDown by getting that one match, for Trick. But other than that, like it was. Yeah, he was well done. The match itself, he gets beat up by Sami Zayn. He hangs Sami up on the top rope. Like the spots were completely manageable for Yachty, and he did a good job selling it. So no, I thought it was really, really great. So him with Trick worked out, and now Trick is going to be the U.S. champion. Sami's going to be the heel going after, I guess, Cody next. That's one play you have in the back of your pockets. So Sami moves on, and hopefully they find something for him in this new iteration that works. Now they have to change Sami's theme again, I think, because I don't think people need to be doing "Let's Go" and singing his song in certain places. But we'll see.
Yeah, but there's still, that's the thing. It's like Sami gets booed, and then the "Let's Go" comes there. Let's go. So they got to go back to that old heel theme where that wasn't there. So. It accomplished what it needed to. I hope Trick doesn't do the open challenge stuff, by the way. He kind of mentioned that on ESPN. He's like, I ain't doing these free matches on television. I was like, hell yeah. We don't need to do... Like, look, the open challenge is really cool. I think it works great for like a babyface wrestler who wants to like prove himself and stuff. For a dude like Trick, babyface or heel, like, nah, you got to earn this shot. Like, he... Superstar status, as he said. I think it works so much better if he doesn't do it. We'll see what they do, but I hope they realize that, we don't need to do Trick open challenges every scene. That's not Trick. Trick is a dude who, he's a money guy, right? He's like, you got to pay me to do these big matches. I ain't coming out here and just giving you guys title shots for free. So I hope they stick with that.
So yes, however, if Trick is going to be a babyface, he's got to find a way to be that guy and that character while still doing babyface things. You know what I mean? Typically, if you're a babyface you're doing an open challenge because you are the fighting champion and you're prolific and you want to prove your point. Trick's not that guy. So they need to find a way to position Trick as a babyface to say, no, the open challenges are over. You got to earn your keep, blah, blah, blah. Which means they should immediately put someone in Trick's way to go after the U.S. title instead of doing open challenge. So Trick should come out on Friday, cut his promo, not say anything about not doing open challenges. It should just kind of quietly go to bed, and the next person steps up to him.
Trick can babyface himself by like giving Carmelo Hayes that shot.
Sure, they could do that show. Sure,
yeah, that'll be the babyface move, and then Trick wins, but that might get him booed. Probably not. I think the crowd likes Trick more than Melo. They like Melo, but I think they like Trick more. And then you just need a strong heel to oppose him. That's what it comes down to, is a babyface is only good as a heel, and a heel is only good as the babyface that they're working with. You got a good heel to work with them, you can easily make them a quote-unquote fighting champion as a babyface without having to do open challenges.
Yeah. Getting your super chats, folks. We'll keep on talking about WrestleMania here. Lucky Charm saying, does it feel like a creative reset to have the titles on Cody, Roman, and Liv and Rhea? Reminds me of 2024 when the creative was last decent, in my opinion. Two huge rivals at the same time, now leading separate brands. A bit of a loaded question, because Cody's already been the champion. Roman coming back to win the World Heavyweight Championship, and we'll talk about where he's slotted in next. Liv beat Stephanie Vaquer in a very strange match to me. We'll get into, and Rhea Ripley, of course, beating Jade Cargill, taking the women's title. Rhea moving over to SmackDown to me is probably the most interesting of these four, because now you have people for Rhea to go up against, and hopefully you build some heels to go after Rhea and the inevitable Io Sky Rhea match that they have to get to at some point. But I don't know about a creative reset so much as we're coming out of Mania. There are some new champions, and we're going to, book around that.
Make that point again. Sorry, you lost me there.
It doesn't feel like this was a creative reset. It felt like just titles changed hands. Now we have stories to tell with new champions. A creative reset to me is a bunch of people became baby faces or heels, and a bunch of titles changed hands. It doesn't feel like this was such a big creative reset as the super chatters kind of putting out there.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if it was a creative reset so much as it was the stories just kind of dictated this stuff. Like Liv was positioned to win here. I think that was the right call for her winning. Rhea might be little creative reset-ish, but Rhea is also the biggest star women's wise in the company, and so I don't think her spot is like unearned or anything. But you could have done something else here. It just felt like, all right, well, Rhea's the top star. Let's just put the title on her, and we know Rhea can kind of carry things. That felt a little creative reset-ish. Cody keeping the title, yeah, I don't think that was the right call. If it was, you should have just gone full bore with the heel turn. I can kind of see. I don't know if it's like creative reset on that. Maybe Orton's taking time off. They talked about the back injury. He sold the back injury, but then he punts Cody to make it seem like I can't make sense of what.
I don't think they know either.
Yeah. Roman doesn't necessarily feel creative reset. Roman just feels like Roman, like.
Well, so Roman, he wins the world championship, and we'll talk about the match itself in a few minutes. But when Roman goes to the back afterwards and does gives the comments in the post show where he says, "None of this part-time stuff. We're gonna be full-time now."
That sucks.
Well, the thing is, everyone kind of jumped on it, and I was like, they're going to Europe soon. They're going to be doing a European tour. That's why Roman's going to be there. He's going to be moving tickets to go to Europe, and then after that, you probably won't see him, I assume, through the month of July. What's in July? Is that Clash? Clash is in July?
Sure.
So they have May, that's Backlash. I don't think he's working Backlash, quite honestly, even though it's in Florida. Unless they really need to book those tickets.
Nah, I think he's working Backlash.
You do, eh?
Yeah, I don't know who, but
it's gonna be him and Punk again in the rematch.
Nah. I don't think it's gonna be him and Punk again. But I do think he's gonna work Backlash.
There's a Saturday night's main event, May 23rd in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Okay.
There's Clash in Italy is May 31st. So they're gonna be in Europe from the May 28th all the way through till they come back June 8th is Raw in Paris. So for those 2 weeks, he'll be on the show easily. And then after that, they go back to the UK and they do a tour of Wales, Birmingham, UK. They go to the UK. So there's stuff coming up. Then July 18th is the New York Saturday night's main event. He'll be there. And then August, he'll be at SummerSlam. And that's probably when it'll be over.
All right. Yeah, I think he's going to work a relatively full-time schedule. I don't think there's going to be a longer reign. I don't think he's holding the title for over 1,000 days again or anything. I think Roman, I guess he's re-signed, by the way, because that was the big topic last year of like, my contract is up after WrestleMania next year, and then he's just the champion.
PW Insider was kind of like, no, he re-signed and they have plenty of runway to get it done. So, which is not it's not a non-story, but it certainly like cleans up the conversation of like, why would you let your number one guy wait that long to re-sign? Like, wouldn't you want to get that shit done? So yeah,
I feel like they got it done a long time ago. Yeah. Honestly, I don't think they waited until this week to re-sign him. I'm sure they got it done a while ago. It's just funny how like the story just disappeared and it wasn't like anything. It was just, yeah, he said this last year And here we are going to this year. He's main eventing. He wins the title, and it's just like a non-story at this point. And everyone just probably rightfully assumes he's re-signed, because otherwise, why are you putting the title on him? And like, he didn't even mention it. He did make the comment before of like, if I don't win, I don't belong in WWE. But everyone was like just assuming he's gonna win, and it wasn't even about the contract thing.
Yeah, and also, so night one, when the presenting sponsor for the main event was Wheatley Vodka, I was like, okay, I know who's winning this match now. And then for night two, when the presenting sponsor was Riyadh Season, I was like, they like Punk, but they love Roman. We know who's winning this match. I don't expect Roman to walk into Mania next year as world champion if they pull off the Rock match. If they don't, then I can see him holding it up until next WrestleMania.
What the fuck? They probably want the title on the line for him and Rock, though.
That is possible. And I thought about that. It's like from a Saudi money, whatever guarantee. Yes, I can see that. I don't know how much pushback creative would do for that. Unless
pushback from creative. The pushback is, what do you want to do, Rock? Okay. Yes, sir.
If Rock goes over and wins the title.
There is no pushback from creative. There's
he's got that
yes, Dwayne. Please don't fire us.
Well, we're great collaborators, remember?
Yeah. No, there's absolutely no pushback from creative on that.
Listen, who knows? Maybe they'll finally do it. Maybe they'll finally get their testicles back.
I'm kind of mad Roman's working full time, honestly. I love that he wins the title and then shows up like once every 2 months, because to me that always just makes him feel like a bigger deal. It's like he's not there all the time. Like, it feels like a big deal when he shows up. They're so good at just turning people into just another guy that I'm worried. I think Roman is smart enough, good enough, like to not have that happen to him, but I also have a lot of faith WWE can make that happen for him.
He's going to be the guy who comes out at the end of every single episode of Raw and just does whatever promo.
Here's the thing. I think Roman wants to show up. He wants to work. Obviously he does. He wouldn't say this if he didn't, and he wasn't going to, right? Roman has enough power and cachet to be like, thanks for the title. I'll see you in 2 months. What are they going to do about it? They're not going to do anything. If they're going to put the title on him, he's going to call his shot. So he obviously wants to work and stuff. I think Roman does see like kind of what the landscape is, and he does want to, I mean, we'll see. I could be completely off base here, but he does want to like kind of work with guys that he hasn't worked with, and maybe put over guys that he hasn't put over. He was very giving in the Braun Breaker feud, and then they screwed it up because they never did a singles match with him and Braun, and they never like made Braun a big deal after that. And then Braun unfortunately got hurt, and now he's back, and Braun's going to work with Seth for a little while. But the same thing with Bronson. He was very giving in the Bronson feud, and they gave him a win over Roman. And they never did anything with Bronson after that. And again, he got hurt, and so they couldn't really follow up on that. But I think Roman looks at guys like Oba, looks at guys like Gunther, Braun, maybe even Trick, and is like, yeah, let me work with these guys, and let me actually build the next set of guys here. We got to stop pretending like Roman isn't smart when it comes to this. I know Roman looks out for himself and his family. That's very true. Roman also gets professional wrestling.
He got it last night because the match with CM Punk was extremely well done. I personally really liked it. I thought there was very few issue with the match. I know people mentioned the stair spots where Roman just flings the stairs at Punk and the referee does nothing about it. But again, the referee discretion is always something you can fall back on. The match itself, though, to me, the reason why it ruled is because it was CM Punk playing into exactly the trope that he was told, and that is he is old and he can't keep up, and Roman can, and Roman did. And the two guys through the match, my favorite part is that they're both so arrogant and they're so cocky. They're using each other's moves. They're taunting each other. They're doing everything except win the match, and it continues to cost them at every turn. And just adapting to that throughout the match, the story was very well done. And for that, everything up until the finish, they didn't have any bloodline interference. They didn't have to do any extra bullshit. They just went out there, and two guys wanting to be the best, who are absolutely top of their game, also just egomaniacal assholes. went at it, and the younger man won because Punk is an old man who can't get the job done.
The step spot, I mean, yeah, it probably should have been a DQ, but it is referee discretion, right? Like, referee's gonna throw this match out, and the main event would have been hilarious, but you got it. We wouldn't be reviewing this show. At least I wouldn't.
It's true.
But yeah, like, all right, you got to give the leeway. Roman was smart enough to take advantage of it. He's like, all right, yeah, I'm just gonna beat this dude with the steps right here. I dare you to do something about it. And like Roman can pull that off too, because it's Roman. Like, you're not going to throw out the main event of WrestleMania featuring Roman Reigns because he used the step, like, in character wise, right? Not like take away that we know this is going to happen, but in character, the referee is really going to, like, yeah, let me screw up the main event of WrestleMania with Roman Reigns, who talks about how much power and control he has in this company, and I'm going to disqualify him here. So Roman can get away with that kind of stuff. So I didn't mind that at all. Yeah, the story, I thought Punk was great. He's clearly like lost a step, which 47. We're all I've lost a step, and I'm like 30 something. I don't know my age. So like it's understandable. But man, when he's up for these big matches, like he's still going out there and trying to perform like he is 20. And for the most part, he pulls it off. And you can see he's lost a step, but he still goes out there like he's going to give it everything that he has. And Roman's really good in these big matches. And he plays to his strengths and that kind of stuff. And his strengths are kind of slower, more methodical type stuff. He doesn't need to go at a high speed, especially against an opponent like Punk. He just needs to effectively, like you said, like the story is that Punk's old. So, okay, Roman's gonna bide his time. And it was very funny when Wade Barrett was like, oh, Roman didn't expect Punk to push the pace like this, and it's 10 minutes into the match.
I was
that. Like, yeah. But that, again, that plays into the story, right? In that Punk's out here trying to prove he can hang and keep up, and he's going to push the pace 10 minutes in to show, like, see, like, I still got it and stuff. And Roman is like, yeah, you're fucking dumb because you're not only old, you're dumb, as I've been saying, and you burned yourself out, and that's why I beat you. So, I thought this was great. I love that it was a clean finish, no Usos interference, which I think people were worried about because they were part of the build for this. And, you know, Punk said you can't do it on your own, and here's Roman. He did it on his own. So I thought everything about this absolutely ruled. Most importantly, that Roman won since he's the best.
Yep. And if he's going to do some full-time stuff, like you said, if he's here to work with some of the younger talent and get them over while also giving them the rub and showing that he is the guy, then there's nothing wrong with that. I actually look forward to the potential of seeing Roman have some new opponents.
I mean, look, I look forward to him having some new opponents. He should beat all these dudes down.
Oh, yeah, he's going to beat all of them. But my point is they look good in defeat. That's what matters. It's about how they look even when they lose. You can get over in defeat, and I know you know this. Josh Barnett, by the way, is going to be on Helwani today at 11 p.m. Pacific. I feel like he means a.m. and he got hit in the head too many times. So
yeah,
11 a.m. So that's is that
2
20 minutes from now? That's 2. That's 2. Right, yeah. So Barnett will be on. He says he's going to talk about Bloodsport. So there you go. Great.
I'm glad I'm not going to be able to take a break today.
Well, give it to somebody else to do. Oh shit, you're right. What's next? Where do you want to go from here? We did the main event there. We talked about the other main event. We didn't really get into Rhea and Jade other than I thought this was Jade's best match in WWE. Others have said it's her best match ever, and she only needed 10 minutes to do it. Rhea being the ring general for a change was nice, and it proves that she is also willing to step up and take on those roles. I don't love necessarily that we had to do the pirate B-Fab and Michin stuff and only have Io Sky come out and make the save. Like, I get it. It's part of the story. My favorite part of the match is when Io goes to do the moonsault to the outside and Jade, being stupid champion, goes to kick Io and misses and gets her foot hung up on the ropes because Io was doing the moonsault and not the dive into the ring. It's a little stupid thing like that makes me laugh. But the finish, the transition out of Jaded and into the Riptide was absolutely perfect. And I thought the match was good. Jade's now doing the one-winged angel. She's calling it Sandstorm, and there's nothing wrong with that. It was good.
Finish is already buried because Rhea just kicked out.
Good.
Her pin on that wasn't good though. Like it was a weak cover because she didn't like hook the leg like Kenny does and everything.
Yeah, she couldn't reach Rhea's.
Yeah, so I'll actually give credit that all right, it wasn't the greatest performed one-winged angel. I mean, it looked really good, but I'm saying as far as pinfall attempt there, I'll give Rhea credit for kicking out. No, it was a well laid out, well crafted match. Jade looked good, Rhea looked good, and they played to their strengths. They didn't go long. They didn't need to go long. They hit big spots. Everything looked good, and Rhea. I was happy of how happy Rhea was, because Rhea is always so like in the moment and in character, and like you can tell she's out there to like have fun and stuff, but like she's like singing her theme all the time when she goes to the ring, but like she was just like so hype and like trying to get the crowd like she just seemed like genuinely excited to just like be there and be part of this match. And I was just happy for Rhea, especially again listening to her in the interview with the Pod Meets World people, and like you see the shit she goes through online. Same thing with Jade. Like you see the shit these women go through, and like it's cool to see them kind of break character a little bit to just genuinely enjoy that kind of moment. So yeah, it was a good match. Rhea winning was the right call because the Jade title run was
it was weak. It was like they didn't have good opponents for her. They kept going back to Tiffany, and it just wasn't strong. So there's an opportunity here to reset. This is, like I was saying, this is the only real reset of any creative that you have, because Rhea's now on SmackDown as a champion. You have Jade, who's no longer a champion. You can start really focusing on different stories with these women, and whatever that means, they'll figure it out. For all we know, they'll put Jade into the US title picture and try to make something out of that.
Who fucks Julia?
Yeah.
But Tiffany's got a title shot. No, Tiffany's about to win that title. They better not do Jade and Tiffany somewhere.
But also out of that, we'll also get Rhea and Julia, because I think that those two will want to work together. So like there's a blessing and curse. Jordan Grace is another one that I look forward to seeing with Rhea Ripley. So there are names. It's just how do we tell these stories with these women and this change of pace. But otherwise, yeah, match was good, and I like this change like you did.
Yeah.
On the other side of things, Liv Morgan beat Stephanie Vaquer for the women's world title. To me, this match screamed Liv Morgan had an immense amount of confidence, and Stephanie Vaquer did not. And I don't know if that was because of the match. I don't know if something was up. Just throughout the match, it really felt like Liv was really feeling it, and it felt like Stephanie was just kind of going through the match in her head. I didn't love that they had to do again the Judgment Day come out and Raquel and Roxanne come out, and you got to take care of them, and then it plays into the finish. Like it is what it is, but Izzy Dame. Thank you. But this was definitely a Liv Morgan heavy match. So I don't know if you saw it differently, but to me it felt like Steph was almost drowning out there, which is not normal for her, but Liv was 100% into it.
I think there's something to like being there for your first WrestleMania and being in a spot like this, and like some still perform very well, and it definitely part of it is like it depends on who you're in the ring with and everything, and the spot that you were in. And obviously this was a big spot. This was co-main event on night one and everything. So was it co-main event? Oh, it was a women's world title.
It was the match before the main event.
So yeah, it was co-main event. Yeah,
they tried to push it as that, but it was never really that. But I get what you're saying.
It's literally that. The co-main event is the match before the main event. That's literally what the co-main event is.
No, the main event is the main event. The penultimate match before the main event. That's the second last match on the card.
The co-main event has always been the second to last match. That's what it's called.
Co means you're sharing the bill. These two matches were never sharing the bill.
That's Cody always Rhodes, how it's been called.
It's not a co-main event.
Okay. So it's the co-main event spot on this show, and like it's a big spot. Like, and so I'll use this example. Go back to WrestleMania 37. The first show that was 36 was in the PC, right?
Yeah. 36 was Pandemic Mania.
Okay, 37. So go back and rewatch Rhea and Asuka. Two great performers, right? Like, no one's going to say Rhea Ripley and Asuka aren't great performers. That match was a little disappointing because I think expectations may have been a little bit higher. It's like, okay, Asuka, we know she's going to deliver. Rhea's been killing it. It's going to be great. But this is Rhea's first WrestleMania match, like in front of an actual audience, because she faced Charlotte, but it was Performance Center, so whatever. Like, it's her first WrestleMania main event or co-main event or match in front of an audience, and it looked like the nerves just kind of got to her in that match. Like, Asuka used to being in that spot. She looked fine. Rhea was a little underwhelming in that match. It didn't mean anything negative about Rhea as a performer of what she did previously, and she's obviously grown a ton since then. But I do think there is something to, like, first WrestleMania match, being in that spot, and just having to deliver in that spot. And yes, Stephanie looked like it was that for her a little bit. And look, they didn't have a ton of time. I think Stephanie's better when she has a little bit more time to build on things as well. But I'm not going to hold this against really anybody, honestly. Liv won. It was great. And, good for her. We'll see kind of where it goes.
Yeah, exactly. But I have nothing else to add other than it is not the co-main event. I see this Body Slam report about Liv and Stephanie being banged up and they didn't want to risk more injury. Here's my response to that. Do I believe that somebody told somebody that? Yes. Do I believe that that is the reason why the match was not given as much time? I do not personally. I think they would be more than okay to trust these two wrestlers to wrestle. And what happened in a backstage segment is not the entirety of how they've gone after each other throughout this build. So I'm not calling anyone a liar. I'm saying somebody reported what they were told. I choose to believe that they could have easily given them more time if they trusted that they were going to be able to put on the match to the caliber that they can both put on. That's just where I'm at. Did not need to be a sub 7-minute match. Could have been much longer.
No, yeah.
Since we're talking about the women's matches, Becky Lynch wins the Intercontinental Championship from AJ Lee. Shout out to AJ Lee's entrance, my favorites. All those little kids come out on the stage, including the one little girl who just didn't want to do it. She noped right out of there. It was so cute and so silly. But of course, if you bring children on stage for your WrestleMania entrance, we all know what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Becky Lynch had the Wonder Years come out and lip sync her to the ring. It was a blessing and a curse. Okay, you could absolutely tell that they were not playing live. However, this was the best I've ever heard that Wonder Years song for Becky, because it always sounds so buried on Raw when Becky comes out. It sounds muffled. That was the clearest I've ever heard the song, and it sounded great. I want him to play it to that level every time Becky comes out from now on, because the song really grew on me watching that show. But yeah, the match was fine. I really don't have much to add other than the story told between Becky and AJ played out really well in this match, because it really was in a bottle. Jessica Carr being involved, trying to counter the Black Widow was Becky, and AJ Lee trying to get the Black Widow in and try to end the match quickly. And in the end, AJ gets the turnbuckle in her face that's been exposed, and Becky ends up hitting a manhandle slam. Jessica Carr has to count the 3. She had already been kind of elbowed in the face accidentally on the AJ Lee spot. And there we go. Jessica Carr counts 3, and Becky wins the Intercontinental Championship.
I mean, they didn't have a ton of time. The build happened. They were barely on television. They didn't do any type of gimmick. So this was a much lesser version of their Elimination Chamber match. And like Becky winning is cool. Maybe AJ's taking time off. It seemed that way from her post match promo on the post show. Yeah.
Should have had a stipulation.
Yeah.
It should have had, the match should have had a stipulation, but again, because it didn't even go 10 minutes. It was just, it came and went.
Yeah. They had like 8 minutes. Like, okay. It's tough to get into it for 8 minutes. Like the crowd wasn't really there and the build wasn't very good. And it was a match we just saw a month and a half ago, I guess. That had a kind of a better build and that had more going for it. And that was the first time, at least one-on-one, we got to see it. This just was like, hey, here's a match you just saw for half the time. All right.
AJ should have taken off the boots and been done with it that night. That should have been a career or title versus career match. Or AJ loses and she's done. Could have done that, but who knows?
I don't think AJ's done. Like I think she'll be back. It's just I think she's just gonna take some time off, which fair. I think Punk's gonna take some time off too. So
well, we'll see. It would be funnier if he doesn't. He just shows up, smacks the phones out of every single person's hands as he comes down to the ring. You know, really go at it, Punk. The Gunther and Seth Rollins match. I know we kind of touched on it. But to me, this was the highlight of night one. I thought these two making chicken salad out of chicken shit was absolutely worth noting because they did not have a strong story going into it. But by the time they got into it, the match was incredible for these two men. And the return of Braun Breaker obviously being the big note, other than Gunther beating Seth Rollins. This was Rollins' 15th WrestleMania match. That's wild.
That checks out.
I know. Thinking about it, I was having this conversation with
Roman's main evented 11 of these damn things.
I know. That's the problem. Are we old or what?
Oh yeah.
Oh, there is that. That's true. But yeah, Rollins, that was his 15th Mania match. They do count like the Heist of the Century because that was officially a match, and he had 2 matches at 40. So like, it makes sense. It was just very funny. But yes, he's still a big failure. Big Seth Rollins. He's not Mr. WrestleMania. He's Mr. Wrestle Loser. But Gunther wins. And Braun Breaker's back to beat up Seth Rollins.
They missed the first spear, and then he kind of missed the second spear.
That was the best part.
Yeah. Well, it was a really good match. Curious as to what happens kind of with Gunther now, because he has the favor from Heyman. We all thought the favor was going to be the Lesnar retirement match, and then that's not going to be it unless he can.
We're going to talk about
that. Okay. And unless he can talk Heyman into talking Lesnar to not retire. But I feel like that loses the effectiveness of this whole thing. It's like, we're going to do one more match after you've already done this big moment. Like, I don't know. That seems like it kind of sucks. Like, I think this Brock moment should just live and be done with it. But yeah, Gunther and Seth was great. Now Seth will go on to stuff with Braun, and we'll see what happens with Gunther. Seth has got to stop these suicide dives. I hate these moves when he does.
Oh, the triple?
Yeah, I hate him.
Yeah, he does that. Yeah.
I hate his suicide dives.
Too bad. You get what you get. I don't really have much to add other than Gunther gets to go on and probably go after Rey Mysterio next. Finally do that again.
Maybe.
Well, now that he's cleared. And then Seth gets to go after Braun Breaker. Hooray, we're back. I will get to Brock and Oba last, I think, because there's some meat on that bone. But what else is from? Oh, the tag title match. The women's tag title. Listen, from a match standpoint, there isn't much to say. The big things coming out of it is, the outfits were fantastic. The gear that they all came out in was
Charlotte and Alexa were
Amazing.
That was hilarious to me because like Alexa looks really good in the dark gear and like the smaller wings, and here's Charlotte with like the double wings, all colorified and
Charlotte.
stuff too. Yeah, it ruled. Bless Charlotte.
And obviously, Alexa Bliss is coming out, and it's a moth, so she's doing the Wyatt stuff, and she's paying homage to Bray and the people who brought her to the dance. I thought that was really good stuff, and Charlotte. Big butterfly wings worked out. The Irresistible Forces doing the Demolition cosplay was really cool. And then Bailey and Lyra had their matching gear and their split screen entrance, which was very strange, but still good for them. So the Bellas come out, and Nikki's on crutches, and she says, I didn't want to take this WrestleMania moment away from my sister, so I found a replacement called an old friend. And out comes Paige, which Body Slam and PW Insider had reported that Paige was re-signed. Later on Fightful Select, we did confirm the reports. So Paige came back. She is back in WWE. She's clearly wrestling. She's part of the match. She wins the title for her team. So Paige and Brie Bella are the winners. Really, the finish is the only thing that I didn't like from this match, because they did stupid babyface syndrome with Alexa. As Charlotte Flair is getting beat up with a crutch, she doesn't know what to do. As Alexa's perched up on top to do her Twisted Bliss.
Yeah.
She's like, what do I do? And then she goes for it. And then Paige hits the knees, hits the Rampage, gets the win. I feel bad for Nikki Bella, because this was clearly going to be the Bellas winning the tag titles and giving them their moment as the Hall of Famers and one of the, refreshed tag teams from their time. But I don't know what this is going to do for Paige and Brie Bella. If this is going to be when Nikki's better, she hands off the tag title to Nikki and that's it. Or if they drop the tag titles and then they turn it around and it becomes a thing, it's fine. But the match was okay. The real story was Paige coming back and the gear that all the women wore.
I think they'll probably just have a short run, lose them, and then when Nikki's cleared, her and Brie will actually win the title. So that's where I expect it to go. It was cool to see Paige back. We'll see what comes of this. We'll see what comes of this.
We'll see what comes of this.
That's all I got on this.
I do appreciate this. Alexa Bliss Gamer is true. On SmackDown, she said friendship is more important than gold, and they did play that out in the match. So I do, for people who pay attention to that stuff, I think it's nice to call out when it makes sense, and it does. If Total Diva fans are happy, why did Paige want to work with the Bellas? Why did she want to do that? They're friends because of Total Divas.
Yeah, they're friends from Total Divas. That's it. Like, they're clearly all friends. I mean, the last time we kind of saw them on TV together, they weren't friends, but...
That's it. Your CM Punk canon pauses for that time.
Yeah, but that was like 10 years ago at this point. So.
Yeah, that's what it was for Punk too. 10 years in between WWE.
Yeah, so they're friends here. Again, it was cool. I'm glad, I guess, Brie and sort of Nikki got her moment here. And it's cool to see Paige back. Hopefully, it leads to some halfway decent stuff on television.
Fatu beats Drew McIntyre in the unsanctioned match. It was a lot of fun. Good match. Drew does his phone not even board at work, but instead the video. And Jacob Fatu has the big win doing the moonsault through the table, and they use wrenches, and it was fine. I think the match was really good. I just feel like there was, I don't know, something missing.
Yeah, it was missing is that it was a WWE unsanctioned match, so they were only going to do but so much. I'm going to group this in with Balor and Dominic because can somebody not change a finish here? Hey, it's a cool finish? Do your top rope move through a table. Hey, this is such a cool finish. Let's do it 2 nights in a row during our no DQ matches. Somebody should have called an audible on one of these. Both matches were, it feels like every WWE unsanctioned street fight you've ever seen in your life. I didn't feel there was any real vitriol, violence, urgency to them. They went out there and they hit you with the same 5 gimmicks that they hit you with in any other ones of these matches, and that was that.
I like that Drew did the PTSD from the toolbox, but that's again low bar. That was the extent of the story for Drew.
Yeah, it's just, and I didn't think Balor and Dom really needed a street fight gimmick. I guess they added it because, like, well, there's too many singles matches, but I don't know. Like, figure that out beforehand and come up with a better structure of these things. And then if you're going to add it, how about you do a different finish than the one we saw 24 hours ago?
Yep. And I don't have much to say about that Demon Dominic match. Demon's entrance was funny. I don't know why he booped the heart, but that was it. It was just boop. Normally he takes the thing, but anyway, it doesn't matter. People were saying that the cues were off, which understandable. It is a giant stadium, and yeah, that match was fine. And literally, like the most Joel Pearl fine match you could think of is the Demon versus Dominic Mysterio. I told you why they had to change the match from Finn Balor versus Dominic to Demon versus Dominic. They were getting
merchandising.
No, they were getting sick of people on podcasts calling it a match between Finn Dom.
Oh, okay.
Do you understand the joke?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Okay. You see, financial domination is anyway. The Usos and LA Knight beat the Vision and IShowSpeed. This was the ESPN gets a viral moment match. The entrance was so stupid with the Vision. I love that they do, like, it goes 2 box and then it's a 4 box and then it's a 6 and then it's an 8. And I'm like, what does this accomplish? It's a Zoom call? Anyway, the match was silly, stupid shit. All to build up to IShowSpeed putting what's his face, Logan Paul through a table at the very end. Hooray.
What has happened to the Usos, man?
Well, it's just them, Us. Day one-ish. They shoehorn them back together.
Like, what has happened to them? I'm not like, I like the Usos. I think as characters, I know people don't like the Jey Uso Yeet stuff. It pops me. But like in ring, they used to be good, right? Like, I'm not making that up. They used to have really great tag team matches. And I don't know if it's...
They still do. It just
do they? Name one.
The one against the New Day when they were doing the tag title stuff.
5 years ago?
Oh, the one they did on Raw not too long ago. They built it up as a big thing. That turned out to be a really good match.
That was December, and it was, I mean, really good. That might be your TNA match that we can't talk about that, you know, you said was really good, and it was every single television match you'd ever seen in your life.
How dare you? JC Jane is a very hard worker.
I don't know what happened to these guys, but it hasn't been good for a little while. All right, somebody's saying Dragon and AJ. All right, sure. Okay, you know what?
Sure. There you go.
I'm giving, based what I've seen, I'm giving full credit to Dragon and AJ on that one.
Listen, I'm not going to talk about extracurriculars, but continue your points.
That was it.
Okay, good. Well, I've made mine too. So that is that. This was very much we want to get the 2 streamers doing their viral moments.
Speed was the best worker in this match.
Yes, it was. How dare you? LA Knight's very upset. He came out.
Logan Paul's punch still sucks. It's gonna irk me every single time. It's so bad.
Yes,
it's so bad. Stop it. Yeah, like it's WrestleMania 39. I mean, look, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because of the 40 match, and that just like sapped everything from them. Like, they did the match at 40, and now neither guy remembered how to wrestle after that. It's so weird. Like, look at them pre-40 and post-40. It's 2 different worlds that they are wrestling in. It was... people like the Speed stuff. The kids gathered around to watch Speed. They did not understand what was happening because they're like, who's on whose team? And I was like, well, this guy's on this team. And then, you know, Theory and Speed ran into each other. And they're like, what'd they do that for? I was like, it's dumb. Don't think too hard about it. And then they were mad that Speed lost. His team lost. And then I told him
it was
stick around. Yeah, I told him stick around. They'll probably do some stuff. And then they thought that him doing like the frog splash through the table was really cool. So
there you go. Like, the kids got to see the big viral moment and they're happy.
Yeah,
That's all it was. It was all for corporatization of the wrestling. There you go. We touched on the Intercontinental Championship ladder match. Again, I thought this was a good match. It was fun. It was a car crash match. I know you enjoyed it, so I'll let you talk about it for a bit because I already did on the post show last night.
Hey, they did some cool, like Ray's still going strong, man. Bless that dude.
Ray's
I know people are like, why did Rusev jump into the cutter? I kind of have the same thought. Like, why don't you just stand there and let him splat and just be like, dummy. But can't quite do that. The Destroyer looked really good. I mean, bless JD McDonough for taking that thing in that way. Because if he gets that move is on the person taking it, and he was able to get over on there in a great way with not a whole lot of room on that ladder and stuff. So I thought everybody got a little bit of shine in this match, and I just thought it was a fun match. And on ESPN, if you were watching this match, you probably walked away of like, hey, I might actually want to tune into this pay-per-view, especially after last night, because this was a whole lot of fun. Like, if I get this the rest of the night, then yeah, I'm sold. And then you got the rest of the matches you got, which were like okay until the main event, but it's still better than night one. So no, I thought this accomplished a lot, and a lot of people looked really good here. And Penta winning is cool with me.
Yeah, Penta's still on a good run, and I think that they had a solid car crash match. That's just where I'm at. But they hit their spots. Yeah, the only one was the Rusev spot where it was like, oh, all right, let me jump into this. And finally, Obafemi defeats Brock Lesnar. A great sprint of a match. Everything played out exactly how it should have. I think it was one of the best matches of the weekend because they just got in, got out. Everyone played their part exactly how they were supposed to. And by the end of it, Obafemi wins it, gets that pop-up powerbomb, fall from grace, whatever he calls it. And even Brock got an F5 out of it. Everyone looked good here. And at the end of it, we'll talk about the match first. At the end of it, Brock Lesnar takes off his boots and his gloves, and he says his goodbyes to a teary-eyed Paul Heyman as they walk up the ramp. Your thoughts on the match, and then we'll talk about this scene with Brock.
Obviously, I was worried that Brock was going to win, so I'm glad that wasn't the case. Like Brock, the entire build put Oba over strong. Like, he truly made Oba from the moment Oba came out to answer this open challenge. From his reaction to when he first saw Oba, to the selling when Oba was physical and everything. Just everything Brock did for this feud did so much for Oba. And then you got into the ring, and he continued to put this guy over. The way he was bumping and selling for him, and just like he was so afraid of this man, and he had to kind of use on the outside, kind of get underhanded to get the advantage, and then hit the suplexes. And yeah, the F5. And I love that Oba just didn't like pop back up to no sell it. Like, nah, that ain't hurting. Like, that F5 has put down so many people to where it still looked like it was an important move that damaged him, but it was still like, I'm getting up, I'm okay, I'm good, you fucked up now. And choke slammed him, one fall from grace, not a bunch of, oh, let's kick out here and let's do another one, and no, let's do an F5. Like, nah, just one and done on it. This match just accomplished so much, and credit to both of them for the work in it, credit to whoever laid it out. Just kudos all around for what they accomplished, this entire build, and then in the actual match itself. And I'm sure, obviously, Oba winning was the plan. If it wasn't the plan, they should have just called an audible like during his entrance, because that man was mega star when they showed him. I was like, yeah, just put this man over right now.
So let's get into the aftermath. Brock takes off the boots. Brock takes off the gloves. Crowd is cheering. They think this is the retirement. Michael Cole's very careful with his words and does not mention retiring, does not mention last match. Today on TMZ, Paul Heyman said, quote, "Why are you pushing this whole retirement thing? There's only one relevant opinion, and it's mine. And mine is that Brock Lesnar dominates the next 15 years. That alone is all you need to know." No, Brock is it's happening. He's still
What?
not 15 years. Not 15 years. The match with Gunther is still on the table. And you know why they did it this way? Because they're baby facing Brock to go to Minnesota. This was the start of doing he did quote the right thing in the fans' eyes by putting over Oba. And now Gunther is owed a favor through the Seth Rollins win. He goes to Paul and says, guess what? I'm going to put your boy out. That's it. He doesn't get to retire. I get to kill his career. You can't put career killer on Gunther's Chiron and not have him take out one of the biggest stars of the last 15 years. He doesn't get to go out on his own terms. Gunther gets to put him out. He gets to take out Old Yeller. Now, Gunther cannot be a babyface to take out Brock Lesnar. So for Brock to have babyfaced himself at Vegas, he did, quote, the right thing. He got the retirement pop that was teased. And now Brock gets to come back, probably have to save Paul Heyman from a beatdown at one point. And that's going to lead in to whenever that match is going to happen. Brock will be seen as a babyface. Gunther will get the booze of all booze. And then he'll get taken out back like Old Yeller in possibly his hometown. If not, then maybe even next year in Saudi for a moment. But that's where I see it going. That's where I expect it to go, is that they want to babyface Brock on the way out, and they should in this particular story to give you Gunther getting that big heat, taking out another guy and being that career killer.
I love how this started. I feel like you had this hypothesis beforehand, but I love how your whole story played out based on comments from Paul Heyman.
Yeah,
who said that Brock is going to dominate for 15 years and why are people pushing retirement? Paul Heyman, folks, if you're going to believe anybody in the wrestling business, Paul Heyman is certainly on the list of people you would believe in the wrestling business.
That's right. It's not a prediction. It's a spoiler, right?
Maybe they do that. Like what you laid out, I get it. I do. I could be wrong. This felt like.
Sorry,
why would you? Okay.
When did I say that Gunther was going after Brock today? SummerSlam isn't tomorrow.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense for Gunther to like lose that, and they go. It's. I don't know.
He's going to antagonize Paul to the point where I swear to God they'll bring Brock back. And he will say, and I can say this because I am one, he can say, where's my Jew? And then it's going to be Paul being like, Brock, you're back, Brock. And then it turns into Gunther getting the match. They're going to use Paulman as the guy.
All right. This felt like, I think it would step on everything they did here. And it's wrestling, sure. Why not? I don't know. Like, look, I have no idea what Brock's mindset is, right? I don't know if anybody has an idea of what Brock's mindset is. Brock has spent his entire life and career doing combat sports, though, and competing in some way. He knows what it means to put the boots and the gloves in the ring like that. He does. Now, look, he's a professional wrestler. He's a carny. He could easily just turn it back around. It just felt like he made this decision. He knew this was going to be his decision, and he's at peace with all of that. And it meant more to do it here than like, everyone knows I'm retiring in Minnesota and I'm going to lose this match. Because now if that's going to be the case, like, all right, we know he's going to lose to Gunther and that's going to be it. And I think that in a way hurts Oba and what he accomplished here. I'm neither of these men. Okay. Neither of these men are trustworthy. I'm going to trust the moment that happened with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania over Paul Heyman speaking to TMZ.
Okay, that's fair. I think that Paul walking back the retirement stuff and trying to throw some water on it, I think that gets.
I do think they want to leave it open-ended because I don't know if anybody knew this was. I don't think the announcers fully knew this was coming. Maybe Heyman did, but I think they want to leave it open-ended because they do want to see if they can probably throw some money at him and talk him out of this. So they're not going to outright say, oh yeah, Brock is definitely retired. As far as, Heyman goes, it's Paul Heyman speaking to TMZ on the street. Okay? Like, I ain't trusting what this man says on this. He's going to carny until he can't carny any longer. And that's why he's been in the business as long as he has. He's not going to outright say, like, yes, Brock is retired. You'll never see him again. No. He's going to be like, of course Brock isn't retired. Of course he's going to come back. That was a moment of weakness. And now once I talk to him, he's going to be back on this. Like, he's going to promote until he can't promote.
We will see.
That's fine.
Whether it's Mania next year or if it's SummerSlam this year, you will more than likely see Brock one more time in a match, in an advertised match.
Okay.
So we'll see. With Brock taking off his boots and stuff, I always remind people about WrestleMania 33 with The Undertaker after the Roman match. And then the next year, suddenly those boots and the gloves were in the ring, and then they were taken away, and The Undertaker was back for another couple of years after that. So anything can happen. Anything can happen in the World Wrestling Federation, right?
Yeah, I'm not ruling out the possibility of it. It is wrestling. I can see it happen. It doesn't feel like they're going to go back to it that soon, and all of this. That felt like it was an actual moment of I'm done with this. And The Undertaker is far more carny than Brock.
Well, they're best friends. I would probably put them in the same tiers at this point.
They certainly are, but this is where I'll go back to Brock and like understanding the business and being willing to give in the business, where Undertaker certainly throughout his career was not quite at that level of where like he understood the business, but that man wasn't like giving too much to too many people. And I think Undertaker wanted to go out like on like a bad match. Like he said as much, right? Like he didn't want to go out on that Roman match because he didn't think that was fair to Roman to go out on that match. I think Brock feels pretty content of what he was able to accomplish with Oba here, and feels pretty content on, you know what, if that's it, I did what I needed to do in that final month.
Well, we got through it. WrestleMania in the books. Tonight we start again. It's just a bunch of people going to be on the show. Let's take a look. Are you excited for this? Are you excited for this episode of Monday Night Raw?
It's Roman Reigns appears, and then that's it. That's like the only thing that's been announced is Roman.
What if more people appear?
I mean, I'm sure they will, but
I also
nothing's been officially announced.
Fallout from WrestleMania 42.
Yeah, I wrote that down because I assume there's going to be fallout from WrestleMania 42. I didn't have anything else to put there, and I got to green my SEO, so I needed words.
I love that that's what it was.
Yes, that's it.
Oh, man. Well, maybe we'll see JC Jane show up and challenge for the Intercontinental Women's Championship.
I think we'll get some appearance or some debuts and stuff. I definitely think that. I mean, Rhea's probably going to be on the... Oh, no, Rhea's on the other show now. Yeah. No, she still might be on this show. Who knows?
It'll be a goodbye to Rhea.
Yeah. Liv will obviously be on the show. Paige and Nikki will probably be on the show. Like, anybody you're confident in debuting on Raw? JC, is that your prediction?
Yeah, JC's my person for sure.
Okay.
I think Ethan Page would be better set for SmackDown, and do that if Chelsea's cleared, or at least Chelsea's on the show. I'd like to see Chelsea and Ethan kind of do their thing again, or maybe just have Ethan start up going after Trick. Even you could do Trick and Ethan Page to start. So there's a great heel going after a new babyface right off the bat, and they're familiar with each other, so you can do that. Pat McAfee's trying to tell everyone on his show that he's officially gone, and thank you wrestling. But much like Brock Lesnar, I ain't buying it.
It's fair. It's wrestling, and it's tough to believe these people when it comes to that. I don't know. I think like, I'm gonna give McAfee the benefit of the doubt here. Do I think like he's gone forever? No, absolutely not. Like I don't know if he'll wrestle again. He'll return for like one night type of thing. I do think McAfee knows that whole thing sucked and he was very unnecessary in it, and he's very cool with being like, yeah, I'm good if I'm not around for a while. I mean, he was burnt out on just commentary, and I realize that's a week to week thing. That's why I don't think like we're gonna see him for a while, but I think McAfee again understands that, yeah, I was not needed for this. The fans really turned on me here, where before like they kind of liked me, and I do not need to show up anytime soon, especially if I said this and you really don't have a plan for me. I mean, Orton laid him out, so that's the end of that. Cody's not going to side with him unless he is a heel, I guess, but I don't think that we really need McAfee there, and I think he will kind of peace out for a while.
What's Jelly Roll up to?
I guess that tag match isn't happening. That's unfortunate. I was looking forward to it.
Could still happen.
Not if McAfee's done.
Cody might need some time to get ready for that match, because if his orbital bone's that messed up, a tag match might be his best way to be on that card.
Yeah, true.
Show's May 9th, so they got at least 2 weeks to build this thing. I don't know. I don't know what else they're gonna do to make that match or make that card stand
Big
out.
Big Rome coming.
I mean, that if Roman's on the card, I can see them scrapping the tag match. If Roman's not on the card, then I think that's the tag match is on. We'll find out as early as tonight where it starts.
I think Big Rome is working that show.
We'll see. Anything else that we need to touch on before we get out of here?
What was your moment of the weekend, Joel?
My moment of the weekend was watching several people get hit in the dick and all of it be successful except for one person, and that is the man who couldn't do it hard enough to retain his world heavyweight title. No, because if you're going to do it, you got to do it and put your ones up as you come through if you want to beat that guy with a low blow. But instead, everyone else did it properly, including the little people. Shout out to Danhausen and the Micromania wrestlers.
This is the Mini-Housens. That's what
the Mini-Housens? Sure,
yeah.
good for them. Micromania in Las Vegas. People like them. Okay. They're allowed to be called midgets when you talk about them because they specifically want to be called that. But please call people little people who are not part of the Micromania wrestling family. Michael Cole was very excited to call them what they called them. He was all about that.
Yeah, he wanted to make it very clear that he.
I can say it. I can say it. I was told it's okay. That's why last night on the post show, I'm like, there are people who were not watching WrestleMania who are in this chat. They will think that we are saying it with gusto. No, we are not. We are going to call them little people.
Yeah, that's why I didn't say it. I call them Mini-Housens. That's what they were to me. My moment of the weekend was Sandman and Joey Janela. My true moment of the weekend is thank God this shit's over with.
Yes, please. We didn't have a poll question because the show was already long enough.
Yeah, I meant to put one up and then I just forgot. So my bad.
Oh, well, tomorrow. What did we accomplish?
What did we accomplish today, Joel?
Our show talked about more wrestling than WrestleMania had wrestling matches. So kudos to us. TKO, you could never, but we did, just for you. Shout out to the people who came to join us. SP3, Andrew Zarian, Cam Hawkins. If you were in Vegas and you had fun, good for you. Glad you did. And if you didn't, hope you had fun with us instead. We're more fun than Busted Open anyway.
Yeah. The biggest thing we accomplished is it's over. The weekend's over. I mean, there's still a little bit left, like Raw tonight and everything. Like tomorrow, I think I can finally just calm a little bit of calmness. But we'll get through it. A genuine thank you to one, if you're still watching this show, and I know there are better programs on right now. But a genuine thank you to everybody who supported the site over the past week, whether it was watching this show every single day or going to just Fightful or the social engagement, whatever it might be. Even if you commented on one of my tweets, whatever it might be, just appreciate it. It's a very long week. I try to work as hard as I possibly can during the week, and I appreciate all the support that I get from everybody during the week who might say nice things to me or about the site, and a genuine thank you to my lovely wife who had to put up with me all week and who did like all the important stuff during the week, because I was a terrible husband and father because I was covering professional wrestling for 24 hours a day.
That sounds awful. Why would you do that?
Pays the bills.
Fair enough. One last piece of note. MLP Mayhem will air in a seasonal format, 12 one-hour episodes starting in July on TSN. So there you go. That is the current opening plan for MLP Mayhem, according to MLPWrestling.com.
Okay.
1 hour shows. There you go.
All right.
Will I cover them? Probably not. Anyway, for Jeremy Lambert, you know who he is. You know who I am. Leave a thumbs up on the way out. Tell your friends about this show because we've been going 3+ years strong and we want you to be on board with us. All right. So till then, we'll back tomorrow to talk about Night After Mania. Ladies, gentlemen, friends, beyond the binary. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.